Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the FSL Open 4. Today, we're at the very last day, and we're going to find out which of these teams are going to be the champions and get that much closer to be going to FSL Elite all the way in October to compete for 25,000 US dollars. To talk about that is us, your casters. My name is Illustrato, and joining me is the amazing Omo. How are you feeling today, man?
I'm doing great today. The weather's actually nice for once in Singapore, so I'm hyped to cast some good games.
Yeah, I mean, the weather, it's been kind of crazy lately, hot as hell, but these games upcoming gonna be even hotter. I feel like this lower bracket final that we're about to see is just going to be the stuff of legend. We saw a crazy lower bracket journey from the both of these teams, but now coming up closer and closer to the grand final, that skill gap, it's getting smaller and smaller, and I can just imagine how close these games are. We saw a lot of overtime games in the previous games, Omo, and you think we're gonna see more of the same?
Well, a lot of the overtimes that we saw were from the Galaxy Racer squad. So far, that even Maki termed them the overtime races. So
Yeah.
with them being out of the tournament, unfortunately being knocked out yesterday, it might not really go to overtimes. I think the lower bracket final has the potential to go to overtime, has the potential to go all three games. But I feel like the grand finals might be a little bit more one-sided in favor of Alter Ego Celeste.
Yeah, Celeste has just been on fire. Like we can look at the scoreboard and their points actually in just a second and show where they are. But Celeste has just been racking them up. Nobody really coming that close to them. And as you can see right now on your screens, 30 points for them. Everybody else coming closer to them. Galaxy Racer, they're already out, so 17 points. And Celeste looking to be like the dragon and hoard all of those points for themselves. And safe to say, Omo, these guys are the favorites for this entire thing, and they've been for quite a while.
Yeah, they've been the queens of FSL in a way, right? So they have been favorites for every open they've played in. I do believe they've only dropped two maps across four FSL opens, and that is a ridiculous statistic. I feel like going forward, they will be the favorites here today as well, and even going to FSL Elite, we will be looking at Alter Ego Celeste. If you look down the roster list, of course, we do have Impaler at 6 and Oasis Gaming at 14, who we're gonna see play right now in the lower bracket final. So these two teams are trying to fight for more points to go to FSL Elite as well.
Yeah, you mentioned elite actually, and so I think what we should do is take a look at
Oh
what
yeah.
exactly we mean by what is FSL Elite. So all the way in October, right now, as you can see in your screens, ladies and gentlemen, we got the FSL Open is where we're at. This is the first stage, and after this, we go all the way to Open overtime, and then after that, we end up with a wild card, and at the very end of it all, it's the FSL Elite happening from the 23rd to the 31st of October, where again, the prize pool will be absolutely massive, 25,000 US dollars at stake. And right now, we're competing for 5,000. So anybody who is here right now, they've already got themselves a pretty sizable chunk of those dollars to take home for themselves.
Yeah, definitely. But of course, you always want to have more of your competitor. They'd be gunning for the 1,500, I believe, prize pool for the champion of the whole open. So that's going to be a pretty nice chunk of change for these players here today. I do believe we're going to take a quick look at the brackets as well. We want to see how these teams made their way to the lower bracket finals and the grand finals, respectively. Of course, there's only three teams left, so this is really the best of the best that you're going to be taking a look at today.
Yeah, it's been a journey for these guys, and the journey itself, rather. Take a quick look here. I really thought that Galaxy Racer was going to be the one to go all the way to the grand final. They
Ah,
looked so good up until a certain point, but it's actually Oasis, comprised of three of their countrymen. Who are going to the well, not the grand final, but the lower bracket final, and awaiting them is none other than AE Celeste. So, as you can see, 2 zeros for Celeste, just mopping up the competition everywhere except for the one at the very, very beginning. Other than that, nobody's really given them quite a run for their money here. And as for Oasis, their journey hasn't been very, very clear cut. They've taken a couple of losses here and there, but for the most part, they show that they are deserving of being in this final slot here.
yeah, I mean, I think the interesting thing to point out is in the upper bracket, Oasis did drop 2-1 to Impaler to fall down into the lower bracket, and now they're going up against Impaler again. So they'll have their chance to take their revenge and climb to the upper bracket finals, sorry, the grand finals rather, against the team that knocked them down to the lower bracket.
Yeah, and they're going up against a team also, the Impalers, who have been quite deadly.
Oh yeah.
Their first loss was honestly not very it's not a really big loss. I mean, it was by a very close margin, and their journey in that lower bracket looked very, very deadly as well, showing what these guys can do, not just as a team, but so much individual star power. And I'm hoping to see that shine. So before we get into the game, I'm gonna ask you, Omo, any expectations for this first best of three? What are you looking to see here?
Well, I think the question on a lot of people's minds, especially for the Impaler, is are there going to be any roster changes? Because we did see one of their star players, Go Hybe, who I believe is their six player as well, not play yesterday, and that kind of hurt them a little bit. I think going up against AE Celeste, they kind of lacked the fragging power. Of course, the rest of the roster, no slouches as well in that regard. We have Envious, Kphrodite, Rue, Mochi, and Chloe TTW.
Yeah, you mentioned the star player, but I do have to mention Kefrodite, who was absolutely insane in this tournament, just being an absolute force to be reckoned with. I'm looking for more from her. She played an amazing killjoy in the first day and was able to top the charts, top the fragging boards all throughout. Coming up huge, not just as a sentinel, but just as a player in general who was able to make a name for herself in the first couple of days. Now, on the other side, we're going to be taking a look at the roster of Oasis Gaming here. We do have a really strong lineup. You got Stan, Baby TZ, you got Lax, Muffin, and Zini. And what I love about this squad is that you got players who can also be individual superstars as well as play
Yeah.
their roles. Lax on that Omen, just
Oh yeah.
phenomenal. And also Stan, who was able to come up with so many clutches for her team. And let's not forget Muffin as well, who could be the star player of the squad as well.
Yeah, honestly, this squad is just really amazing. I was watching them play yesterday and their understanding of their roles and how they need to help their teammates. Like you mentioned, Lex on that Omen, you always see her flashing for her teammates. Whenever the teammates take a duel, she'll always throw the flash to
And
make
it's
it
always
a
like two
one-sided
people she
play.
flashes, right?
Yeah, it's always amazing. So, like, Maki was mentioning a little bit about how the priority on Omen might be a little bit overvalued, but I think when it's in the hand of Lex, it might just work out. And like you mentioned, Muffin and I think Baby TZ as well have been so consistently good. There was a map I think they played against Galaxy Racer yesterday where the both of them went above 30 frags. So amazing fragging power from these players as well.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head right there because I think the strength of this Oasis Gaming roster doesn't just come from their individual raw aim. It's because of how well they understand the roles that they have to play and how they execute them. I really have to point it out. Lax on that Omen, really such a sight to see. I think I counted every time she threw out a paranoia, it was like at least two players or one that was flashed on it. So this is a good sign for not just the player, but also the fact that they can play structured style. Whereas Impalers, they really like to go ahead and straight up rush and aim duel and take on those fights. Very much phase clan style.
Definitely, definitely. And we'll take a quick look at the maps, I believe, as well, because the players are getting ready to head into the agency like soon. So the maps that we'll be seeing today are going to be Haven, chosen by Oasis Gaming, Icebox by Impaler, and Split once again by Oasis Gaming. And I believe Marquis mentioned yesterday, this is very much in line with the trend that the Impaler likes to play. They like these big open maps, and Icebox is definitely one of those options.
I think the reason for this is because they know they have such good aim. And when
Yeah.
it comes to long range duels, they're very capable of taking this. I know this could sound a little bit reductionist in that analysis, but the truth of the matter is that they know how to hold long angles and get map control together as a team. Even on the defensive side, you saw it on Impaler when they played Haven. They were securing a long almost every single round, eventually being punished a couple of times. But still, they were able to do that with those long range maps. And I think it'll be more of the same here on Haven and on Icebox.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a fan of Impaler, that's definitely what you want to see. And I think I'm a little bit of a biased caster here because they're the only team left from Singapore. So I'm definitely going to be cheering for the Impaler as they try to once again knock out Oasis Gaming and try to make their way back to the grand finals against Alter Ego Celeste. But it's a tall task ahead of them because Oasis Gaming, watching them play against Galaxy Racer yesterday, they were definitely on fire.
Oh yeah, and I'm gonna go on the other side and be like, okay, Oasis, they're a team from the Philippines, man. I'm gonna be rooting for these. Also, well, at least three of them
All
are.
right, so we have some
So
stakes here.
yeah, we do. We're gonna take some side. We're gonna take some, a little bit of bets down here between you and me.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But it's gonna be such a fun time here. I'm excited to see this match happen. Do you have any predictions at all on how this is gonna go? I'm gonna start it
Well,
off. I
Go ahead.
think Oasis I think Oasis are honestly at a disadvantage
Yeah,
because of the map selection. It might
true.
be a little bit rough on split as well. So I'm gearing towards a 2-1 for Impaler. But if Oasis if Oasis take map number one, it's a 2-1 Oasis.
Okay, okay, that's a good call. I'm gonna be a bit. Well, you know what? I don't want to be lame and just like repeat their previous scoreline, which was a 2-1. So I'm gonna say 2-0 for Impaler here today.
Okay, well, definitely bold statement right there. We'll find out as we go into the map selects. Any expectations on maybe agent selects because we saw that yesterday and on the previous day Impaler liked to run a couple of sort of off meta picks as well as Oasis. They were really hard prioritizing that. Omen, we did see a lot of the Astra. Will we see more of those Astra picks here today?
Well, I feel like since it's gonna be on Haven, I feel like the agent selects might be tweaked up a little bit. Like you mentioned, Astra, right? This is something that Marquis and I were talking about yesterday as well. Astra seems like she would be such a good pick on Haven because of just how big the map is. Astra will just give you so much control across zones, and that's definitely a viable option. Like we talked about as well, Omen has been such a popular pick in this tournament that we feel like I feel like we should see some more Omen because his ability to throw these long range smokes and his ability to traverse the map with his ultimate when he has it up just gives so much more value on Haven and it
Oh
becomes much more valuable. So in line with that, the usual defensive agents that we'll see, I think Killjoy should be making an appearance here today, as usual, because Haven is just such a good map for the Sentinel picks.
Yeah, I'm just a little surprised that we see a lot of Omen considering the changes to
Yeah.
Omen now that you have to buy the smokes, but still they're sticking to their guns, I suppose. What I'm a little bit surprised to see is that I haven't really seen much of the Sky pick lately because Sky
Yeah.
has been experiencing a little bit of a surge in popularity. There has been a lot less Jet lately as well, so we'll see if they decide to change things up. But I'd personally like to see the Sky because one of the most potent lineups I think in recent history that we've seen, not just here in FSL but in just the entire VCT, is the double initiator Sova plus Sky combination, and I'm hoping to see that emerge yet again here today, or maybe a breach because I just feel like with such a large map like this, a double initiator is just so vital.
Yeah, definitely. And we did see the sky hovered for a second right there, but it's gonna be swapping back to looks like the classic combo of Raze and Reyna, which we usually see for duelists and initiators in this tournament. Sky was something that Marquis brought up a lot yesterday as well. He kept talking about the need for hard flashes, which a lot of these teams just were not running, whether in the form of Sky, whether in the form of a Phoenix on Haven, and that's looking to be a trend that's going to be repeated here today. When you want duelists, when you want initiators, it looks like they're just going to go for Raze, Reyna, and Jet for the aggressive picks.
Yeah, this just is a little bit strange because you don't really have that hard flash for that hard initiate. So if you look at the Impaler side, they have the Raze and the Reyna, and they're okay at entering into sites, I guess, but they're gonna need some like really hard support just to be able to get into it. Now on the other side, it's a little bit more of the same thing. Like you mentioned, not a lot of hard flashes. I would have liked to see maybe some more Phoenixes come into play, like you mentioned. Yeah, even the Sky with a full flash or the Breach. The Breach has just been, it's still very much viable, I think. And I'm a little surprised that it isn't coming out here today. But now after seeing the picks, I think I'm still gonna stick on my prediction. I still think it's gonna be a 2-1 Oasis. But let's find out whether it is gonna be true or not. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are, the first game of the day. It's the Impaler versus Oasis Gaming Aqua here in the FSL Open 4.
And we can't really ask for a better game to start things off. Muffin and Baby Teasy, we saw their fragging power yesterday, and our questions are answered. In addition to the usual fragging power, which we see from Impaler and Kfdidi, we don't see Chloe TTW playing today, even though she was quite an instrumental part of, I think, their rounds against Alter Ego Celeste yesterday, but we will see Kohaibi come back in once again, and of course she was their star player the last time around they played. So it's quite interesting to see how these swap-ups will affect the team dynamic. I mean, we talk a lot about, who's star player, who's gonna frag, who's gonna carry, but at the end of the day, the better team is generally gonna win. Here we go, fast push towards A.
That's going to be the boom bot dropped out. They're going to be falling away and falling back from that. Just doing enough damage to get a trade kill. And look at the HP right now. Killjoy sitting very much in the red here. Anko with that dangerous
Nice.
lurk, and this is something we have to really bring into the equation. Anko has been lurking with that Reyna time and time again, and just
Uh-oh.
been so amazing at getting those entries for her team. Unfortunately, gets shot from the back. No real opportunity for a trade right there, but still, they have secured map control towards C, and it's a little bit of a weird round. This is something that Oasis Gaming Aqua love to do. They play these awkward angles and they really
Ooh.
like these awkward mid rounds, and still somehow they manage to come out on top. They also have a lurker yet again coming in all the way from A. So, but as I say this, Kohibi, diligent, patiently waiting just in case there might be someone onto
Nice.
site, and they do get that trade. It's going to be 2 kills already for the side of Impaler, leaving only one left standing. What can she do?
Nice.
Absolutely nothing onto Lax as she gets that last kill here. Two players still alive, and Impaler secured the pistol.
Yeah, I think Oasis Gaming had a really good idea coming to the round. They tried to create as much havoc on the map as possible. In a map like Haven, which is so big, which is so scattered, the attackers really have a lot of advantages in where they can come from to surprise you in these unusual angles. And that's exactly what Oasis Gaming did. The problem arose, however, when they tried to get into C and put the spike down. They just lacked the manpower, and I wasn't sure who had the spike, but she just didn't have the confidence to put the spike down, not knowing where the opponents could be.
Yeah, I like that they stalled on it though. They waited patiently for rotations and for the flank to come in. It's just the timing really went into the favor of Impaler as they did get the drop onto a couple of members. You know, just not getting the right timing there. But let's see if things change up. Oasis Gaming Aqua, they've been quite lethal on these pistols on the eco rounds, and so we'll see if they can steal away a couple because they have stolen rounds away previously. It's going to be a little bit of a tough ask considering the new economy, but still very much doable for Oasis Gaming Aqua.
Definitely doable. Impaler, they will have the advantage. They're playing it a little bit safe, of course, understandably. You don't want to lose any of your guns to these pistols. We'll have to see how Oasis Gaming want to swap this one up, though, because generally you would want to find a pick somewhere, but Impaler are playing this so safe. Here we go,
That's not exactly a bad thing playing it safe on an anti-eco round. So
Yep, exactly.
you want to make sure that you have as much guns as you can because of how the way the economy now is structured. Easy pickings right there for Mochi X. And backup for Keferdite ready for the trade round right now. They're securing all the map control that they need. Backup is coming. Keferdite dropped down low, but there's only one person left. And Stan on a classic. I don't favor her odds in this 1v.
It's looking a little bit rough. Okay, we shouldn't really have doubted her. It was close. She swung a bit too wide for the last frag there, but does get one with 2 right clicks from the classic. Not the worst round from Oasis Gaming. They did at least kill one member of Impaler, so that's one less Spectre going to the next round. But other than that, let's see how the setup's gonna be looking for the first buy round for Oasis Gaming.
Yeah, this is going to be really the true test of Oasis Gaming Aqua. A little bit awkward on the economy, however. Muffin is going to be sitting on a Guardian. That's not something you see every day. So it's going to be a little bit surprising, and let's see what she can do with that. 5 Spectres, however, on the other side. So if you do miss that shot with the Guardian, you probably won't have another chance, though. The SMG will mow you down, and this is what Impaler love to do. They go for aggressive map control towards A. They do this almost all the time on Haven, and Oasis Gaming Aqua, they have not punished it.
Yeah, I really like this for 2 reasons. One is map control and information. It's just so valuable, especially on a map like Haven, which is just so big. That any information you get is really just double in value. And another thing which I really like is that they have Spectres. So they know if they're taking these long-range duels against the Vandals, against the Phantoms, they're not necessarily going to win. So they want to bring it up close and personal with you. They want to put this SMG in your face and blast your head off.
And this defensive setup, it's actually quite difficult to deal with this right now. So they know that there's someone close. Oh, the elbow. Oh, they dismantled that crossfire perfectly. Oasis Gaming Aqua knew what to do in full response to the setup of Impaler. Even though that setup was really, really good and difficult to deal with, they knew exactly how to just dismantle it. Now, that's going to be the A side completely open. The spike going to be planted without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, and the trend that we saw yesterday was that once you have to plant an A on Haven, it's generally just so hard for the retake to come back in, especially if you're only approaching from the defender side. You need to be able to get some flanks to cover some of the other angles. Oh, and that's a nice headshot. Baby TZ, yeah, okay, that's just gonna be the round ending. Very nice one from Oasis Gaming Aqua. Their first buy round, gonna be very convincing.
That headshot with a Guardian, can be
Yeah,
so sad. It's honestly for me the most satisfying gun to use
it
in this
is,
game.
right? The sound it makes is just
Yeah, I mean, and when you land it, because it's not difficult. You mess up once and you're pretty much dead. But if you get
yes.
it right, it's just that yes moment.
Exactly, exactly. And now we have the bias coming in from Impaler as well. I don't think they'll be stressing the last round loss too much, but of course this is gonna be the make it or break it round, I think, for both teams. Impaler, of course, they need to get their economy going because they're completely broke right now. And Oasis Gaming Aqua, they just had their economy reset with the round win, so they're gonna need to keep the momentum going.
Yeah,
Where's
you're
their Guardians
absolutely
at that?
right there. They don't want to be on Guardians the whole game, safe to say. So Muffin might be looking to get rid of it in this one. We'll see what they can do. Slow, steady approach and map control is what Oasis Gaming is known for. They just like to sort of creep up towards site. Her position is revealed now. She knows she's vulnerable, so she does have to fall back, fall off this angle. Nobody really overcommitting onto this just yet, just in case there might be more presence known. But the bulk, the majority of the forces actually of Oasis are gearing towards B. So it is the fake. This is very typical Oasis Gaming
Right.
Aqua play style. And they might actually just go for this. It could be a fake though. And
Oh,
just
that's
as I say
real
that,
nice
what
one.
an opening shot right there from Muffin. Getting the first, getting the
Jeez.
second.
You say they don't want to be on Guardians the entire game, but I don't know. It looks pretty good to me. Maybe
Yeah,
easy. That's unfortunate though.
that there is no way you should ever be winning
30
two
seconds
duels
left.
like that with a Guardian up against the fully equipped
planted.
squad. And man, maybe she should hold on to that Guardian because looking absolutely deadly right there. The angle isolation, the mechanics as well. It was a very nice move to satchel charge just into the corner just to make sure that you get isolation. So very nice play right there from Oasis Gaming Aqua and Muffin.
Yeah, this is gonna be a very rough round for the Impaler. You want to take whatever guns you can away from Oasis Gaming, but this is gonna be Oasis starting to build their economy, starting to get the win streak going, keeping a lot of the rifles as well. And Impaler, they're gonna have the full eco next round, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. Again, it wasn't really a very good economic situation for these guys, and Impaler, they know that they have to hold on to this. Rue is just ensconcing herself onto A side just to make sure she keeps this, and so
Yeah.
as long as she doesn't lose this, they'll be able to sort of get maybe a quasi buyout and still do
Yeah.
some economic damage to Aqua, and that's a very, very crucial difference here. Now look at the economy. Like I said, she won't be able to buy.
Yeah.
Most of them, I don't think any of them will buy, but the goal here is maybe they can sneak a few more kills from Oasis Gaming Aqua with that Phantom, just make it as expensive as they can.
Yeah, I mean, there's two approaches to what you can really do this round. One is you can leave Rue to anchor a site and more or less leave her alone with maybe one teammate to back her up. Another alternative, which I think is what they're going for here, is use your Phantom aggressively. Let your Phantom push up and try to get you some guns back for your team. And that seems like what they're looking for here on A.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is something that they should try for. But again, this play is known to Oasis Gaming Aqua. They love, they have an absolutely good read on, how to hold, how rather Impaler likes to hold A. And what they're going to do instead is, have the bulk of their forces going towards B. But as I say, that Lax, not expecting the player close range right there. It would, and she gets a shot as well, bringing so much damage onto that Killjoy, almost left with nothing. And that one frenzy has changed the face of this round.
Frenzy at close range in the garage is just so deadly, and a very nice pre-fire onto Stan, knowing exactly where she was shooting from, and Rue with the headshot as well from down in 8 tunnels. Very nice play coming in from the Impaler. They might actually win this eco round. It's very doable for them. It's basically a 5-on-2 at this point.
And it's 30 seconds left. Oasis Gaming Aqua, they're
30
kind of
seconds
choking,
left.
man. They kind of need to figure out what to do. They are locked into somewhere on the site. Now they have Anko, who is going for a lurk, and she misses the timing. She has to move. This is all in Anko's hands because the rest of the members, they're stuck. She gets spotted off in an awkward spot now. They need to commit to something. But Rue is there with a double. That's 3 kills for the Phantom. And we said she just wanted to make it expensive, but we didn't expect her to win the round.
Yeah, this is why they're there playing on stage, and we're here talking about the game instead. She definitely had a very breakout round, and I think IB as well. very value with the Frenzy. She definitely got her money's worth. I think that round is gonna hurt Oasis Gaming a lot. They still will manage to get the buys together, but now they need to be able to get some wins going because both of these teams, no one has been managed to string many wins together. It's always been you win two, I win two, you win one, and then now the economy for both of these teams, it's gonna start hurting next round. Next round is the last buy round for whoever loses this.
This is, however, still a big pickup for Impaler. Even if they, lose everybody, they still will have enough to buy on the next round. So they have a little bit of a cushioning just because of how well they played that last round. Now let's see what they can do here. Envious, aware that somebody is up close now. They're gonna try and swing out the dismiss. She's not getting out of this. No way, no way in hell. And just for safety, there comes out the paint shell to make sure they secure the kill. But will they expect Aphrodite rather? Looking like it's going to be a no for now. As towards the site, she holds, and nobody really else hard committing towards it. They're gonna get that spot onto Muffin, and she actually gets tagged by it. Hunter's Fury is available, but I don't think that they're gonna commit the usage onto it. Maybe save it for the post plan.
Yeah, and it looks like Oasis Gaming are considering falling out, but rather no, they're just repositioning and getting right back into it. Oh, Kifadati with the poor timing. That's so bad luck.
Yeah, and this is just Oasis Gaming Aqua sort of getting in the heads of the Impaler. Like, slowly. Yeah, she gets spotted out, and normally when you get spotted out like that, you'll fall back. But instead, what does Muffin do? She walks up and gets closer in your face. Definitely not something they expected in this 2v2. Showstopper is available for Muffin.
Nice.
Paranoia comes out. That's absolutely huge. That slows them down from peeking for now. But what are they going to be able to do? Kohibi getting up close and personal. Oh, the Showstopper to the face. Traded? Can you trade it? No, just will be slowed down by that paint shell.
Oh,
she gets away out of that corner, and this is a very difficult situation for Mochi.
Wow.
Baiting. Timing is great right now with the satchel charge, but she has to get up close and personal. Has to spray through this. Mochi X, what can you do? She lands it, she halves it, and she wins it. That's a great round for Mochi X, and she has the time to close out the round as well. Impaler, man, what a round for Mochi.
Honestly, that was a fantastic round from everyone involved in that clutch. That 2-on-2 at the end was just, I think everyone played it as well as they could. The flash from Mochi X, Kwaibi nearly getting the spray transfer, Stan using the, sorry, not Stan rather, but Muffin using the out preemptively to try to scare them off, and then using satchel charges to peek the corners and just threaten Mochi X with not being able to defuse. And then the angles they played with, honestly, that round is one for the books. I think both of these teams are definitely doing super well here today.
Yeah, that game was like that round was like 4D chess, man. Both of them just mentally just creating mental anguish for each other.
Yeah,
it's just a game of wits. But fortunately for Laps, the smoke prevails. It's so hard to push into a smoke. You really can't do that when it comes up. Now, what is the plan here? I'd like to see Oasis Gaming Aqua play a little bit faster pace because they have been getting read by the Impaler. I'd like to see them go for a hit, a straight up execute, or maybe a split kind of play because right now their defaults, they're getting sniffed out.
Yeah, I mean, Oasis Gaming, they're trying to probe around all the sites, they're trying to look for picks, they're trying to get information, but they are just losing some of these duels, and they are getting sniffed out, like you mentioned as well. And I think the Impaler, some of the aggressive pushes towards A, it's gonna be a bit detrimental to the planning of Oasis Gaming as well, because not knowing when you're gonna get shot out of A is just so hard to deal with in terms of planning. Envious with the nice op shot, and it looks like they're up in B.
Yeah, this is a Hail Mary play from Oasis Gaming Aqua.
Oh boy.
That's a little bit of a weird Hunter's Fury.
First shot with, I think.
She was looking at the minimap, 100%.
Yeah.
100% she was looking at the minimap. But still, the spike actually does get delayed, and no real damage, no meaningful damage from that paint shell. There is going to be a lockdown being committed right here. Envious finds another with the AWP. ABTZ and Stan chiming with a couple kills of their own. Aphrodite and Kohibi, though, will be able to secure that 1v1. Muffin gets away from that paint shell. Barely. Barely, and that was a really great idea, but the Impaler yet again, in these clutch situations, they win these 1v1s.
That was honestly so close, and Kfadadi, 30 HP left. Really could have gone either way. That round though was so important for Impaler. They get the win bonus, starting to streak together. They keep the operator as well. And once again, Oasis Gaming, are they going for some kind of combo to get a half buy right now? Yeah, it looks like
I don't think they should, but it's a little bit early though. I don't think they should force or anything like this. Maybe this buy is acceptable. The Guardian and the Marshals, this can still do a lot of damage, and Muffin has been quite legendary on this Marshall thus far. So
Yes.
maybe we'll see some crazy shots.
Yeah, and I mean, you think back to the clutch round as well with the last 2-on-2, and you can't help but think like maybe that round, it's kind of what was gonna shift the momentum in the favor of Impaler. Maybe that's what gets the mental going in their favor as well. Baby TC actually takes the hit there, I believe, no?
Yeah, that should have been a kill. Look at him. Look at her
Yeah.
health. Like 1 HP. These
I wasn't
guardians are
sure
so
if she's
lethal in their
full health
hands.
or no health, but
Yeah. 6. She's on 6, and she hasn't seen any.
Alright.
Mm. But let's see what Mochi X can do. A little bit of a weird spot. Has to get out of dodge here. Swinging wide up against 3. Oh, what are you
she
gonna
shouldn't
do
be
here?
alive right
She
now.
is so screwed. What can you do? Has to paranoia out. She can ulti out, but she needs support in this corner. Her location is known. They're gonna flush her out easy. But
nice
as
shot.
I say that, those Guardians, man, they're getting the work done. Second time's the charm right there for that Guardian as it gets the actual kill rather this time in this 4v4.
Yeah, the Guardians are actually doing so much work. They're definitely getting their money's worth. With the Guardians, it is of course a cheaper gun, and they're doing so much work with it. It looks no different from a Vandal or a Phantom in their hands, and it looks like the B push is gonna get stifled though. Baby TZ gets taken down.
30 seconds
and
left.
the idea is to teleport to A and hope it's open. And actually, it works out for them. A little bit of
It is open. They
hesitation
can't
might
get
cost
fun.
them, actually.
Yeah. They can get plant at the very least, but this is
Okay.
gonna be a little bit hard to deal with right now. They do have nice enough post plants, I would say, but the gun difference is gonna be the biggest issue.
Yeah. And whether they can hold on to it. This is still A. So this is actually probably the best thing for Oasis Gaming Aqua to get onto A. A difficult site to retake, but there's so much utility still on the Impaler side. As you can see, Long is already smoked off. The Spike is already starting to get defused. This is very difficult. Stan is lining them up though, but they're sticking the defuse.
boy.
Anko gets a kill on the diffuser right now. And in a 1v1, Aphrodite once more is able to pull through. Somehow getting the collat and the final kill. And it's another clutch going for Impaler.
And it's another clutch going over to Aphrodite as well. In the blink of an eye, the Oasis Gaming defense just comes through and tries to clear out the bomb site. They get everyone except Aphrodite in the end, and Stan dropping the ball a little bit right there. If she had a gun out, you can't help but think she might have had a better chance, but she was trying to put the turret down, so she was unable to fire back.
Yeah, just the timing. The timing could have. I like the idea to drop the turret just in case she gets pushed, because she has to, she kind of has to push, and maybe she'll force her to push. But just the timing just didn't go her way.
Yeah.
And, at the end of the day, Aphrodite showing that next level clutch intelligence. She's getting clutch after clutch, and this is starting to get scary. When and we talked about her at the start of the game. When Aphrodite gets like this, she's so hard to stop.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like Marky always says, the hot hands, once you get going, once you really start feeling yourself, you just really get able to run with it. Like, you start running away with the game. It happens sometimes, and it seems like we're seeing that here today as well.
Definitely. And Oasis Gaming, Aqua, they need to put a cap on it. They need to be able to find a solution how to stop this Aphrodite right now, because she is just being the bane of their existence. Despite the fact that Oasis Gaming, Aqua, they have really good mid-round calls. Think about it. They managed to get on A, the most difficult site to retake, and they still managed to lose that round. But look at this. Muffin with
Muffin, how did you get in here?
very, very big kills right there. Just what they needed in this round. And a 5v3 on A side. This is almost unwinnable here for Impaler. I'd say a save might be in order already.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably the best call to make here. They're probably just gonna try to camp for some exit frags. I actually don't know how Muffin got all the way up in B and all the way over to connected to A, because no one saw her. Oh,
She actually blast pack.
Okay.
Blast pack, excuse me. But they're
So she
going
knows
for
the
it.
agent very well, and it looks like they want to try to get some frags here at the very least. They know they have the better economy, so even if they come in and they trade kills, there we go. That's 2 quick kills already for Kohibi. The Impaler, they lose 1. Kohibi drops, but
No
Mochi's
time.
still alive. Mochi's down, Envious is still alive. She's trying to get them to waste their time and maybe die to the spike, I think, but I think they should just be able to make it out in time. Yeah, just on the edge of that one. I feel like the game plan from Impaler might not have been to win the round, but just to make them lose as many guns as possible, knowing that they are in a... Well, I was gonna say they're in a better economical spot, but
Yeah.
I'm actually completely wrong, because they're completely broke. So they might have actually just chosen to save that. That might have been a better call.
Exactly. I thought that was a save call, and if they saved with those 3 players, they would have 100% been able to buy on this round. So a little bit ill-advised on that round, if you ask me. But still, let's see what they can pick up here. I think a little bit overconfident. After
Yeah,
those
3
clutches.
rifles was definitely something you could work with. It was close though. Kohibi got 2 quick frags, but they were unable to find the rest of the angles after that. Here we go. Okay, you don't need vision if you have a judge.
Yeah, you don't. No, definitely not. Still a broken gun, but now they're gonna go on to the B side, see what Kohibi can do. Close range with the frenzy, unable to find that trade kill here. Envious though, looking to get cheeky in the smoke with the judge that she just has. But the rotation, the backup coming in, quick flank from Kefradite and her teammate as well. They have Rue right behind her. They get stand off guard now, but they know that there's somebody close. Will they expect a second? Yes, they will, and that's gonna be left all alone in the hands of Envious in a 1v4. Might just go for exits here.
The consolation prize is if anyone walks into Garage, Envious will be able to kill them with the judge.
Oh yeah.
I'm 99% certain about this one. But I feel like Oasis Gaming are aware of this because if you look at where Lex is holding, they suspect she's in Garage. Yeah.
Yeah, they're avoiding it like the
Oh,
plague.
here we go. Here we go. Okay. Bad luck.
Yeah, Envious needed to die there. Envious wanted to die because obviously money, so it has to go for at least something and not just wait forever. But at the very end of it, 6-4, Oasis Gaming Aqua making this game interesting. They finally managed to string a couple of rounds together, and they've been able to stabilize their economy to some extent. Look at this. They're able to confidently buy in this one, and even if they do lose this one, they'll be able to buy in the final round. So really good work from them to not get thrown off by those clutches by Kefradite and still keep their heads cool.
Definitely the most important thing to look at. I feel like it's something which people need to pay more attention to is their economy, and that's the problem that we saw 2 rounds ago from the Impaler. They went to try to go for the 3-on-5 retake when they didn't have the economy for the next round, and that's kind of coming back to hurt them a little because they lose 2 rounds to Oasis, and now that just means Oasis can start stringing rounds together and building up their economy. So this is going to be a little hard to deal with for Impaler. If, like you mentioned, right, even if they take this round, Oasis is just going to be able to buy again right after in the last round. So they have a very solid shot for the next 2 rounds to tie this one up 6-6.
Yeah, definitely. Yo, we're getting messages in chat going clutch for Daidi, and 100% it's raining true. She definitely is clutch god at the moment. But as I say, this Oasis Gaming Aqua will lose a couple of members here. It is one person lost rather on the Impaler side. They've actually managed to sneak all the way into B though, and they've actually secured it. And those 100 Furies are actually a little bit questionable.
A little bit low.
Yeah, that's the second time that's how. I think she's really looking at the mini. Kefradite, it's okay. You can clutch. You can clutch. You're fine.
You don't need Hunter's Fury if you just run in and shoot them all in the head, right?
Yeah.
Which is, I think, what we're gonna see possibly right now. It's gonna be a 4-on-3. That's a very nice Nano Swarm Grenade. Forces them out. Oh, but she didn't check the corner. That was a bit of a whiff from Kohibi. She had the Nano Swarm Grenade pushed out ankle, but she wasn't ready with the gun to kill the one that she pushed out of the corner. A little bit overeager.
I agree, and I love that round for Oasis Gaming Aqua. They sense the overeagerness, they capitalized on it, and they go ahead and then they peek aggressively. They go and double peek mid. They don't just hide onto site and get traded. They look for the kills because they know that B site is a very difficult site to hold because you can get exposed from so many angles. And so what they do is they take that round in their own hands and they go ahead and look for those frags, and it nets them a win. And we go into the final round with barely any money. Look at this, 2 Spectres.
No armor and Envious, 2 Spectres and a light armor. This is going to be a very hard round for the Impaler to win. They're playing very aggressive out A-long once again, and they're going to get a little bit of damage on ankle, but it's nothing significant. And it's so hard for them to take these duels because they just don't have the armor, they don't have the guns for it.
That's the
Right,
ultimate
and it looks like
committed.
A committed, yep. They're going to commit to A. That's going to be 2 quick kills, 3 quick kills over for the Impaler. Empress is going to be popped as well.
Oof, and that's probably going to seal the deal. On as I say that, however, they actually get 2 players still alive here. Oasis Gaming Aqua. Whoa, the quick turnaround onto Envious with the Blade Storm. They might get the spike down here, and this is going to be quite difficult here for the Impaler. They still have a flank player coming in, so they might not expect much EX at all, and she actually does get that kill that they do need, leaving us in a 2v1 situation.
Baby TZ is so low right now, but you only need 1 nice right click twice to win this round. Oh, they see her before the smoke bombs. That's so unfortunate. Yeah, the timing. And it's going to be a 6-5 for the Impaler. It's not the worst half for them. I think both teams are pretty okay with the scoreline. It's a little bit attacker-sided, so you wouldn't really be too happy, I think, if you are Oasis Gaming Aqua. But the Impaler, they're pretty alright with this.
But even though they actually had a couple of flop rounds, Oasis Gaming Aqua were able to make it into, I'd say, a respectable scoreline. This is not ideal. Don't get me wrong, this is still not ideal, but
Playable
the
for
fact that
sure.
they were able to bring it after losing an eco round and having
Yeah.
a couple of sloppy rounds and getting clutched so many times by the Impaler, by Kefrodite, they still managed to make it 7-5. So this is still a good showing from Oasis.
Yep, for sure, for sure. And I feel like if they do end up losing this map, they're really gonna beat themselves up. They're gonna go back and look at the rounds that they flopped, and they'll be like, okay, if we clean these rounds up, this could actually be a much more one-sided game for Oasis Gaming. It would probably be something along the lines of 8 rounds in their pocket if they didn't throw those rounds away. So yeah, definitely need to clean up a little bit on some of these post plants, on some of these anti-eco rounds. And it looks like a fast play towards A is going to be Impaler's opening.
Yeah, let's see what they can do here towards A lot of damage from that shock dart onto Stan here. Will decide to finally swing out. Now her position is known, but they've slowed him down. She's done her job as the Sentinel. But look at this. All the way here
no,
in
Lex.
base.
Lex
Lax
heals them.
has the position. Can she be patient enough? But she might be over patient. She calls for the rotation though, and the spike is going to go down.
See?
They are planting seeds. How have they gotten this far?
I think there must have been an over rotation from Impaler. Impaler baited them out. Oh,
Oh,
nice.
no.
Nothing though. Nice from Lex. Got the flank as well. And it looks like despite the plant, OAS will take this one.
Looks like it. There's 2 players
One
still
enemy
standing here, and the spike actually does get half, so they're not too worried. Lux is too far removed from the situation. But Rue is going to make it a little expensive. Will they go for the knife? I thought she was going to do it.
Ooh.
No, it was just a headshot with a frenzy. She was tempted to knife, though, for a second.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And it was definitely a close round. I think Impaler might have baited a bit of an over-rotation. They invested so many resources towards A that Oasis Gaming, I think, just bolted over, and that let them get the plant in C. So even though they lost the round, they will have a pretty nice economy, I think. Well, it's not the best, but they are able to maybe piece some pistols together if they want to. But it seems like a full eco is going to be the play for them. Maybe just rush somewhere.
Yeah, I'd say maybe go for a couple of pickoffs. Just try to get a little bit creative and make a couple of, forced errors, and then just have them force buys, force rebuys. That's all you need to do. If you can get 1 or even 2 kills on a round like this, it's already a big success. So let's see what they go ahead and do here. It looks like just a slow and steady approach here, looking like Impaler is taking a playbook from Oasis Gaming Aqua and just holding the line.
Yeah, they're just holding the line, not going too aggressive on either side, and Envious tries to peek mid with the pistol. The Classic's not really gonna net you these dual wins.
Any other
That's
gun.
why- Any other gun, and she might have had that, but that's the problem, right? This is why Impaler, they need to be looking for some kind of execute, some kind of maybe rush into the side, overwhelm it with just sheer numbers, and it's just so hard to do right now with these Classics.
And smoke's now being deployed towards mid on both sides to help them maybe get a little bit of control here. Lax has ensconced herself in a little bit of a sneaky position, see what she can do with this. I don't think this is very often checked, especially at this level, and so she might actually be able to get away with 1. However, everybody's gearing towards
30
C, in
seconds
fact,
left.
and this is actually the easiest site to take. And so this is probably the best chance they can actually get with for a plant. If they want to get a plant, that should still be enough.
Nice recombo, but they get taken down instantly. So they do review ankle. That flash was huge though for Lex. I think that was a triple flash probably. Now it's a 3 on 2. They don't have time though.
8 seconds.
One enemy
Just
remaining.
make it expensive if they can here. 4 seconds left, and Baby TZ, 4 kills on that eco round. Is able to lock down that site, stay alive, wait for the teammates, and get the kill. 7-7, but definitely Oasis Gaming Aqua made that expensive.
Oasis Gaming Aqua, they're going to be very happy with that one. The anti-eco went entirely the way they wanted it to, and they are able to pick up some guns here and there as well. Actually, no, Ankle's economy is a little bit bad, so they might not be able to get her a gun. Might have to just deal with a pistol or something. There we go, Frenzy over for Ankle. Full buys coming in from the side of Impaler. They won't have any issues. They have full armors and everything. But now the question is, can they get this round? Because this is a very important round for Impaler. If they lose this, the economy is going back to shambles, and Oasis Gaming starts to run away with the map.
Yeah, but close range with the frenzy, lethal as can be.
see it,
Able
yeah.
to dismiss in time. The backup with the trade. Oh, the 1-2 punch. The bait and switch from Oasis Gaming Aqua. Very nicely timed, very nicely done. And on an eco, they've shaken up the round.
Definitely, they've shaken up the round, and they look to be favorites to take this one out right now, honestly. They have the SMGs, they have the frenzies. Let's see what they can do with it, because I feel like they've gotten some of the guns back from Impaler right now as well. This is such a difficult place to play in this garage. I feel like they should honestly just sack it at this point and look somewhere else. They know there's a bunch of Oasis members towards Garage, so they should probably look for a rotate.
And this is a very expensive round. If these are Vandals they have in their hands. So
Yeah, it's
if
very
they lose this, my God, Oasis Gaming Aqua jumping for joy. They'll have guns for days.
This is a smart call though. They need to look towards A right now. We have got view obviously, but they don't. But if you make an educated guess, you can assume there's one towards B and a couple towards Garage and one on C, so that probably leaves only one on A. But the
30
rotation
seconds
from
left.
Oasis Gaming is coming in right now because they don't hear anything. And
Out of
Impaler,
charges.
they're about to run into 3 people.
Yeah, I like that they're actually cheating over a player from B now towards A. This could very well be deadly. The only guns on Oasis Gaming Aqua right now is on that A, situated on A. They have to come up huge. That's 1 kill. That's 2 from Stan. Almost a third. But Muffin finishes it off with the paint shell and a brilliant steal of that round from Oasis Gaming Aqua.
That one is gonna hurt Impaler so much. There we go. The timeout comes in. They say we need to reassess the situation. Something is not working on our attacker side. And what do you think they need to do right now? What do you think is the issue for Impaler on attack?
They're looking indecisive, I think,
Yep.
especially at the very start of the rounds. You see them trying to cop a feel in every single area. They're really trying to play like Oasis Gaming Aqua in those early rounds and just go for those defaults, bait a little bit of utility. But their strength, I feel like, lies in the fact that they can clutch and they can get trade frags. So I think aggressive play, hit them hard, go for an A execute or maybe a C site hit, and just shake things up, because right now the tempo, again, these defaults for both of these squads not really working out either way.
Yeah, I feel like once they do get into the side, their post plants are so good. But the problem is, like you mentioned, they're too indecisive. They can't get into these sides. They can't find the plants. 10 seconds left on the timeout. Let's hope they found a good solution to what's going
Yeah.
on, because this has not been looking like a good half for the Impaler. Of course, it's just started 7 to 8. Though with the economy that they have, I feel like this one should go to Oasis and might end up just going 7-9.
And also, you notice that the Impaler, they like to really run down the clock, I think a little
Yep.
too much.
Yep.
They've been caught off holding the spike way too long, and this is really starting to punish them. Now, the Impaler, they have 5 sheriffs right now, and they've been very deadly. I'm hoping to see maybe some sheriff headshots. We'll see if this comes through.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to try to feel out the map and get some information, but they've been running out the clock a little bit too much, to the point where they feel rushed into some of these plays, where they feel like they have to just run inside and get the plant down, which they do because they've ran out the clock too much. So like you mentioned, they probably need to start making a decisive call a little bit earlier in the rounds.
Yeah, and they're kind of doing it again here. They're trying to really just hope to get a pick or two, and that
Ooh,
is
there we
pick
go.
what they need. That is just one that they're looking for. Fortunately, it's just the Spectre that they do lose in this one. They're already having somebody rotate coming to help defend this area, make sure nobody gets too cheeky.
Yeah, let's see the setup right now. We have a lone killjoy over on A, and the rest of the team for Oasis are pretty evenly spread across B and C. That's exactly where Impaler are looking towards right now, though they need to find a little bit more of these picks, but Oasis Gaming smartly not giving them any angles to get into the sides.
Yeah, and this is again them running down the clock. Like I think it's a little bit way too thin
It's way
now.
too much, right? 30 seconds with only pistols, it's so hard to just get in.
Yeah, and you don't really have the utility to be able to clear sites that effectively. Anko is here, holding that good dismiss. Now she knows where to look. That's 2 big kills here. 18 seconds left, and this is what happens when you don't really give yourself enough time
One
here.
enemy
And
remaining.
Anko is able to be no, it's not her. It's actually her teammate to close out the round.
Yep.
But still being a nuisance enough to be able to survive and get 2 kills. That's more than enough.
Yep, 2 kills and then flying around the back and to cause distractions to the Impaler. That's going to be very hard to deal with. 7-9 right now. This is going to be another buy round for the Impaler. If they lose this round, I can't help but feel like this might be it in the map for them. So this is a hugely important round for Impaler, and we'll have to see what they can do right now.
I love this knife. It's so cool that you can double wield knives in this game.
You actually have one more knife than anyone else. How cool is
Yeah.
that?
That just means that you should do double the knife
Oh boy.
damage, right?
That is
No.
true. Maybe TZ though. No! Game for Daddy just jumps across. I thought she was trying to just jiggle peek, but that's not going to work out in her favor. This is so rough for the side of Oasis Gaming right now.
Oh. Good
Oh,
headshots and good
no.
1-2 switches right now. The confidence from Baby TZ just to go in all the way and try to go for those kills. So lethal, so tenacious. and that just leaves us in a 3v1, and there's already a flank coming in. This is what I like to see from Oasis Gaming Aqua. Dynamic on that defense, changing things up, going for those aggressive pushes, whether it's from C, whether it's from A, they definitely secure that map control.
It feels like they don't know where she is because they're falling out and giving her control of A right now. Okay, they know she's here, but they let her come into the side. And she's not just gonna plant in A because that would be too obvious, right? You have to find people looking around the angles. She doesn't quite find the kill on Lex. I feel like that one's gonna lose her the round. Oh, yeah, there we go. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, and she just gets heard running there. Tried to get a little bit clever with the timing, but unfortunately, Lax was a lot closer than she thought. But that was a great round. Oasis Gaming Aqua, they're taking the reins in this one. It is a game that they have, I'd say, honestly, taken and just ran away with, because this looked like it could have been Impaler's game. This looked like Aphrodite and the rest of her team were gonna go all the way with it because of how good they look. But now Oasis Gaming Aqua, man, they're winning round after round. They're really the first team to truly break out and get a 3-round lead.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think they're like on a 5-win streak on defender side right now as well. We talked about how this map should be a little bit attacker-sided, but both of these teams, honestly, finding much more success on defense. And I feel like you mentioned, decisiveness might be a little bit of an issue for both of them. Everyone is just trying to feel all these sides out, but if you don't win the duels when you're doing that, then it just becomes so hard. And of course, defenders are going to have a little bit of an advantage because they have more angles they can play from to hide within to just make it hard for you to peek these corners. And Baby TZ right now holding Garage. Is Envious gonna peek this?
Yeah, they get a little bit lucky that the shot goes wide there, but Baby TZ, now her position is known. The operator has been given up, and so she will be actually changing up her position and switching with a teammate just to make sure that they have the garage area covered. But that's still 3 strong towards the Envious. Beautiful headshot onto Muffin.
Envious. Digit's so good with these sheriffs, but they're not really finding the important frags that they need to when they have the rifles, which is just so hard for Impaler to deal with right now. Trying to show the peak on the operator, always going to be a dangerous affair. I feel like Baby TZ knows that she's there.
Yeah, she knows for sure, because where else
Okay,
would
but
the
she
operator
opts it
go
out,
right
yeah.
after a peek on Garage? So that's most likely where she'd be, and that's a really good idea. But she gets away, and the call actually from the Impaler is to go to A, and they find another kill on the lurk.
13 seconds left to go though. They have to get him fast. Luckily for them, there
10
is no
seconds
defender
left.
right now on A, so they should be able to get the plan down. But once again, running out the clock, it's just so... I'm getting a bit of a heart attack just watching this. Like, it's so close, these rounds. They're almost running out of time. They're feeling the need to run in. It's so dangerous from Impaler.
And the lockdown to slow them down a little bit more here, but Oasis Gaming, they've been landing their shots here. They're looking for the bait and switch here onto short.
They know
and
Anko
get
is
the kill.
here. Anko shot the alarm bot, but they know she's here. Baby TZ. Oh, Mochi X with 2 T-Go headshots. Anko with a trade back, but Kohaibi wins out the round for them. And Mochi X, and I believe that was Envious as well. 2 Sheriff headshots apiece. So definitely making the money work in their favor right there.
That was the round that Impaler needed more than anything.
Yep.
Especially on an eco round like that, they only really had pistols to work with, and look what that's happened for their economy. They've been bolstered here, 3,450 on 2 of them and 4,400. They were sitting on scraps on the previous round, and now they have more than enough for this round and the next one. And so Oasis Gaming Aqua, they've got to find a way to come back into this, because this is their last buy. Otherwise, they're going to sequester this one, and we're potentially going to see a 10-10 scoreline.
Definitely possible. So this is one of the key rounds in this map as well, and let's see what it looks like. It looks to be a fast play towards C this time around, though we have seen Impaler probe a site and then back off. Envious a bit too ambitious, gets taken down. Oh,
Look at that. Still hasn't given her her position right there. Anko finally reveals herself, and that's a really good setup. Too difficult to deal with for the Impaler side. And just when they go for that C hit for the first time, just when they want to change up the pace, Oasis Gaming Aqua, they know the right read. They go and stack up 2 and play it perfectly right there. Aphrodite is able to get 1, but that just leaves us in a 1v4 as Ru, ooh, nice headshot, nice body shot rather to secure that kill. Still in a 1v3, the spike is in no man's land, and this round is nigh impossible.
This round is looking unwinnable for Impaler. It is going to be a 1-on-3. The spike is way out of her hands. And you know what the problem is? I feel like the reason why they have to go for these indecisive plays.
Why?
1-on-2, it is kind of winnable. She has the ultimate.
30 seconds
But the angles are just so hard right now. There's too many angles. There we go.
little bit careless if you ask me there. No need to peek that long angle, especially if you do have that spike. Just play the bait and switch and they lose and they make that round a little bit more expensive than they needed on Oasis Gaming Aqua side. Fortunately, it gets them that much closer to match point. One more round and then Oasis Gaming Aqua secure match point. Impaler, they're looking a little bit stumped here as to how to handle them because Baby TZ, man, she is 23 kills right now, lighting up the server. Can anybody stop her?
Yeah, it's gonna be really hard to stop the momentum that Oasis Gaming have, and I feel like I want to call back to the attacking rounds for Impaler, and maybe to some extent for Oasis Gaming as well. The reason why the teams are finding it so hard to enter sites, and why they have to be indecisive, like you said, to look around and fish for picks, fish for information, is just because the agent lineup is too hard to go into sites. As Marquis would say, they're lacking the hard flash.
Spots the foot, but not quick enough to land on the head. Now they try to get up close just to make sure to get that trade, but they can't. Kohibe's waiting for the right time. Does get the one, does get the second, and it's a beautiful adjustment from Kohibe, finally chiming in with 2 massive kills for her team. They actually managed to get onto say A, but it's not enough because Muffin's ready for the trade, and so is Mochi X, leaving us in a 1v2. Definitely winnable, no ultimate available, so she has to stay onto side, and Oasis Gaming Aqua, they need this round to secure map point.
Nice patience here from Mochi X. She knows she can't afford to go in for the plant right now, but the ankles, there's just too many ankles. That's the problem. They always have a man disadvantage. They're always a person down, and it's just so hard to play out these situations for the Impaler. They really lack the control to get into the site. Their comp, I'm sure, is great once they're inside, but the problem is they can't get in and get the plants down, and this is going to be map point for Oasis Gaming in this first game of the best of 3.
Yeah, and we touched on this earlier. Without the hard flash and really the truly hard entry that they need to get onto site, they struggle a little bit to get onto those sites, which is, you know, like you mentioned, one of the reasons why they can't even get to those post-plant situations. Let's see if they change things up here, though. And it looks like it could be a Hail Mary play towards C. This is still,
how
however,
this goes.
Yeah, let's see how this goes. This is, however, Oasis Gaming Aqua's pick, so Impaler's pick is coming up next, and that's Icebox. But for now, we still are in a 5v5. The Spike going towards C. It's a little bit of a split here as the 2 players from Garage now coming out here fully blind. Last lining up both. Gets both kills. Amazing hold so far. And they all fall to the hands of the Oasis Gaming Aqua side. The Impaler gets taken down here 13 and 8.
And that's a brutal half for the side of the Impaler. Oasis Gaming, they really just left them no chances. They try to probe around, they try to look for picks for information, they lose the duels. They try to run it into C, they just get mowed down every single time. And the offensive side for the Impaler just looks like something is left to be desired. And they need to really figure out how they want to fix this going into map 2. Like you mentioned, of course, this is Oasis Gaming's map choice. We will be going to Icebox next, which is Impaler's map choice. So let's see what they can do on their favorite map.
Yeah, looking at the head-to-head MVPs here, Baby TZ 26, definitely a standout performance for this young lady. And Kohibe and Co, honestly, a little bit of a quiet game. Keferdite definitely stepped up. Kohibe was a little bit more quiet, but I did want to see a little bit more from Rue on that raise. Envious, the duelists actually were sitting very, very low on the scoreboard there, as well as Mochi X. It did feel like they were having an off game, and maybe it's because they're not very much that comfortable on Haven, which is surprising. Hopefully they turn things around on Icebox.
Hopefully they do. We want to see an exciting game. Impaler, though they lost, they have the 19% headshot percentage, so a kind of moral victory, if you will. I do want to point out the frag wins for Oasis is at 11, which means that they've been dominating these rounds. They just come in and they kill everybody, which is a very good, convincing sign for them going forward. And right now, my prediction of Impaler 2-0, that's already gone. My prediction of an Impaler win at all might be just out the window because Oasis Gaming, they are just looking on fire right now since their games yesterday.
I think that if any team actually can make a comeback in this, I do think Impaler, they've got the moxie for it, man. If Kohibe steps up, you know, if Keferdite can keep it going and the rest of the members, I definitely think we'll see a completely different game number 2. But that has yet to remain to be seen here. Again, we'll take a short break, however, because we are going to be we're going to be going into game number 2 in just a second. So before that, my name is Illustrado. This is Omo. We're your shoutcasters. We'll take a short break, and when we get back, game number 2 of this lower bracket finals will return. See you guys in just a second. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the FSL Open number 4. And we just saw game number 1, Oasis Gaming Aqua taking a commanding victory 13-8 versus none other than the Impaler. Again, I'm your shoutcaster, Illustrato. Joining me on this desk is Omo. How are you feeling about that last game, man?
Honestly, both teams had some really good ideas on both defense and on both attack, and I think their in-game IQ really shines through when we see how they played post-plant scenarios out. But where both these teams did struggle was on attacker side and trying to find a footing in the rounds to get in, especially on a map like Haven, where that should be more easily accomplished. So I'm quite curious to see how they adjust these things going forward into Icebox.
Yeah, Icebox definitely is a can of worms. Like, when you pick Icebox, you have to be ready for it. It's not just a map that you can play default and, rely on your fundamentals. You have to be creative on attacking side. And we saw this on the game of GXR when they played against Asteria, where basically what happened is they were kind of just hitting their heads onto B site, and it was a little bit weird. So hopefully this time we'll see a little bit more of, I'd say, finesse in the attacking side from Impaler, especially because if this is your map pick, you better damn well sure know how to play the attacking side.
Especially like you mentioned, finesse and creativity can really shine through in Icebox and how well you read the map. So if you pick it like Impaler did, then they should have some good ideas of how they want to approach it. So hopefully, especially on attackers, we see a bit of a change up in their setups and their approach to the rounds. Because like we mentioned, I think especially starting from Agent Select in the last game, it just left them with very few options to play out aggressively in a attacker side on Haven. Hopefully this time around though, we can see if they manage to change things up in terms of their approach and in terms of their agent select, because something that we did touch on was teams drafted very heavily towards the first half that they would play for. So if I'm starting on defense, I'll pick up more Sentinel, something along those lines. So now that I do believe the map choice belongs to Impaler, Oasis Gaming gets side choice, which means I think they chose defender side, which means Impaler, I want to see you guys draft a little bit more initiators, a little bit more, like Marky would say, hard flashes to come into Icebox.
I agree, 100%. And, getting onto sites on Icebox, it's not the easiest of tasks. And even when you have control of a site, it's never really full control. And that's just how the map is structured. Once you get onto B, you're just so vulnerable from Snowman, from mid. There's just so many places that it could go wrong. Same thing that applies onto A. And so I'd like to see those potentially maybe a double controller setup. I'd like to see that Viper plus Omen or even double initiator if you're starting on the attacking side. That would make sense to me. And maybe definitely those hard flashes, because as we saw in the previous game, we didn't really see that many great entries, that many great executes. They were all relying on defaults because their lineups, their compositions sort of limited them and forced them to sort of play this default style setup.
Yeah, they didn't leave themselves many options to play with aggressively in game. So it comes down to the duels, it comes down to the defaults, and how much information you can fish out on the map. Even when they had info, like A is relatively clear, they just lacked the tools to go into A, they lacked the tools to go into C, and it would always be a meat grinder when you try to enter sites because of these thin chokeholds. Luckily though, this time around on Icebox, the maps are a little bit wider, the sites are a little bit wider, and the entryways are less easily sprayed down, and I feel like that should work in the favor of honestly both of these teams on attacker side, because they both seem to be lacking a little bit of the finesse in entering the sites, though when they do get in, post plants and everything have generally been very good for both of them.
Yeah, well, we'll see if they can actually sneak their way in for these sides. Let's take a look at the draft now as we go into it. It is a little bit more of a standard picking. I am liking the fact that they bring back the Sage. Okay, the Viper comes out, and I appreciate this. And by the way, they're subbing out Rue for this game, and they're bringing in Chloe TTW.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
this is because of the fact that the philosophy Impaler is they run a six-man squad, and then they sort of just alternate the last player, whoever it is, just depending on the map and whatever.
Okay, yeah, like you mentioned, they swapped out Rue for Chloe TTW. A couple of reasons for this, I think. Maybe map choice is one thing, as well as agent choices, because we see Chloe TTW always on that Sage, and she performed very well on it, honestly, yesterday against Alter Ego Celeste. I do believe she was top fragging on that Sage, so battle Sage performance coming in from her. Rue, though, had a pretty decent performance last round. I do remember some memorable frags from her. I think this is more of a agent choice, map choice kind of a swap up, roster swap up, up. It's nice to see teams fully utilize their six slot rosters though. So that's going to be a very nice touch, and hopefully this can be a bit of a breath of fresh air for Impaler after what was, I'm sure, a rather demoralizing Haven approach.
Yeah, agree with you completely. But here we are, ladies and gentlemen, game number 2 in this best of 3 series. This is the lower bracket final. And if you are just tuning in, if you are just joining us, Oasis Gaming Aqua takes the first game 13-8. And now it's Impaler's choice, map choice rather. Will they be able to bring us into a game number 3, or will Oasis Gaming Aqua take us into the grand finals? We'll find out, as it looks like it's gearing up to be a straight up B hit for the Impaler side.
Yep, definitely. And of course, the winner of this is going to face Alter Ego Celeste in the grand final. So that's definitely not going to be an easy task for either of these teams as well.
Oh, Lax just getting absolutely decimated right there by Chloe. Good start on her first appearance for the day. Is able to create an opening for her team. That's going to be the spike. Secured, maybe not just yet. They still hesitate on planting it, making sure they want to get 1 kill at least here. Smoke comes down just to make sure nobody tries anything crazy. Kohibi does get a kill on Baby TZ though, and that's going to be 1 kill advantage for Impaler's squad. Time is ticking away, and they've actually left the Viper all the way back. They're waiting for that post plant though, as Kohibi getting the kills here and lurking towards mid now, should be able to get that final kill as Mochi X does come in with the flank play and secure Impaler with the pistol.
Very, very nice shots there coming in from Kohibi with that ghost. Of course, the Impaler this time around, it looks a little bit different from them. Let's touch very quickly on agent lineups. Although they don't really have the hard flashes like we talked about, they do still have the Jet, they do still have the Reyna, and in this instance, we just see Reyna take hits. Boom. Easy.
Yeah, and I like that they go for the Viper. They're clearly ready for this because Mochi X hanging around mid there, that just means that she has a lineup and a plan as to what they can do if things start to go awry. She can flank from mid, which is exactly what she did, or she can just go and straight up maybe go for a lineup play if it comes to it.
Yeah, there are a lot of options for them here, and it looks like they're going hard and fast towards A side this time around. They do have the Leer to keep people down, and that's going to be SMG spray downs, but it's going to be a 2-for-2.
This is already a win for Oasis Gaming Aqua. They've lost so much. They pick up a
Oh
Spectre as
boy.
well. This is an eco potential win here for Kefrodite. Can she clutch again? Just the timing is unable to reset the accuracy on the drop, and Baby TZ, they win the thrifty round. And definitely that is worthy. That is worthy of a, you know, wow, I just had a commendation, I just have to say.
That one is really rough round for the side of Impaler. They tried to go hard and fast towards A side, but they just weren't able to get in and get control of the side because so many members of Oasis Gaming were just stacked on the side. And the last clutch attempt, I think, coming in from might have been Kefrodite right there. Unfortunately, she dropped as she shot, so the recoil kind of went all over the place. If not, she might have been able to clutch that one.
Yeah, and let's see whether they can bite back on eco rounds, because they have shown to be able to. They have the information on Anko though, who does go down and drop down, making sure she doesn't get picked up unnecessarily.
Oh boy.
The Viper wall
again.
and the snake bite just makes it a little bit difficult to get onto site right now, and the smokes as well. The cloud burst, expensive as they may be, will help them secure the site. But Baby TZ from the back line is able to do enough work to get 1 kill. 4 still standing here on Impaler. Can they find the kills necessary? It's Stan to open it up. Kohibi with a double long range and is able to get away in the corner.
Oh,
what
Muffin!
Muffin right now, still able to survive here. We'll find the last kill on Chloe, and what a round from the Jet here. Muffin lighting everything up.
Honestly, from yesterday, I've been so impressed with Muffin and so impressed with Baby TZ. The shots that some of them have been hitting are just really insane, frankly. Like, the flick, the shots, the headshots, really amazing performance coming up from these two players on the side of Oasis Gaming. Look at this one. First frag onto Kohibi, who's shooting at her teammates. Another headshot onto Kefrodite, and then really feeling herself, she just jumps onto Chloe, dinks the last shot on the head with the frenzy.
Chloe
amazing
just got Goomba'd in that one.
Got Goomba'd indeed.
Just got Goomba'd with a frenzy. 3 bullets left, manages to land the headshots. My god, very, very nice play from Muffin right there. And that's a massive win for them here. That should bolster their confidence. And look how confident they're playing. They're pushing aggressively towards mid. Just when you think it's walled off, they go ahead and take a fight here. Lax is not afraid to take a fight, but it's Envious who prevails in the end.
Yeah, now it's gonna be a 4-on-4. They're looking towards B pretty heavily right now, but they still have members straggling to get there. And I feel like this might be a trend for the side of Impaler. They don't go in together as one unit. They tend to straggle and they tend to not really be on the same page when entering sides, and that seems to be what hurts them. Oh, Muffin does get a dash.
Yeah, dashes into the wall here, and Kohaibi is able to pick up that kill onto Baby TZ, leaving us in a 2v1
Spike
stand.
planted.
Still doing work here. They're able to secure the spike for now, but the wall still can come up. Will they go for this peek on top of it? Sees the shoulder, makes the jiggle peek on the corner right here, but Kferdite's lying in wait.
That's so
Could go
low.
for the trade, doesn't happen in the end, and it's Chloe to take that kill on the stand. 2-2, Oasis Gaming Aqua, they're on the ropes here.
Yeah, this is looking like a very close start to Icebox. Of course, the rounds have kind of been traded around a little bit here and there. But once again, to reiterate, we have to repeat this because it's so important for the economy. If you reset your loss bonus with a winning round, you need to keep the wins coming because then it ends. If you don't, it ends up hurting you more than helping you. You just run out of money to play the game. And Muffin here has to operate on A. If they go for a heavy A play, which it looks like Impaler are going to, this could be dangerous.
Yeah, indeed. Muffin has an advanced angle though. Will they have anything to force her off of it? The recon dart could be enough. There's going
That's
to
one.
be a peek, and that's enough. That's enough for the first kill. We'll look for another one here.
Oh, it's
Will
gonna be
not
two.
kill my
Tempting.
It's
fate.
gonna be two. Oh.
No.
It was so close. You saw her silhouette just behind the wall. It was really, really close to being two. And Chloe's just gonna use the rest there. Are gonna have a 5-on-5 still. Muffin forced to fall back out of sight because she doesn't really have the information. And it looks like she's rotating the mid. She suspects that the members of Impaler are gonna fall out towards B, and that's exactly what's happening. However, they don't know that the operator is actually following them all the way across.
Let's see if Lax can pick up the crucial kill right here. She's already played a very close angle, very much in the position. If she can line it up, nope, not gonna happen. Lax goes down. Envious is too aware that the threat could be around the corner. And indeed, that's what they're gonna go for. Nice jiggle from Baby TZ to cut off the rotation onto one and bring them to a level playing field. And they're not
30
done.
seconds.
Baby TZ again, time and time again.
Baby
Triple
TZ and
kill.
Muffin.
She's unstoppable today.
Look, Baby TZ and Muffin, this two-man unit from the side of Oasis Gaming is just no mercy coming out. This is like the, pardon the analogy, but I've been watching a lot of the Michael Jordan biopics. So this is like Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. The two of them have just no mercy.
yeah.
8 frags apiece, 3-2. The two of them are just taking over the map for Oasis Gaming. It's merciless.
And it's so difficult to deal with it because you got Baby TZ just picking off kills in mid, and then Muffin like hanging around A or B, just wreaking havoc. Impaler, they really don't know how to deal with this just yet.
And it seems like Muffin and Baby TZ can just rotate to the sides as and when they please. They read the map, they think, okay, Impaler are coming to B next. They just move over to B, and then their teammates, the supporting pieces, will accommodate around that because the two of them just get the frags wherever they go.
Well, see if they can continue this trend of success that they have found just yet. And looking like it's going to be an A hit. Anko sees the head onto one, but unable to truly find any meaningful kills just yet. This is an eco round, however, so any bonus kills that they can find on the Impaler side is going to be a victory for them, but they're getting mowed down yet again as Oasis Gaming Aqua. They're holding strong, unable to find more than one, and it's another round for Oasis Gaming Aqua.
Yeah, another round for Oasis Gaming Aqua. Now they're starting to string the rounds together, which we always talk about how important that is. Oasis Gaming, it seems like despite this being Impaler's map pick, they're very comfortable on Icebox. They know exactly where they need to be, which angles they need to peek, and it's looking a little bit rough for Impaler right now. Just a reminder, this is of course series point for Oasis Gaming as well. If they win this, they're gonna move up to the grand finals against Alter Ego Celeste, and Impaler, they're gonna be knocked out of the tournament. So this is a huge stakes for this tournament as a whole.
Agree here. Now they're going towards B. Muffin is hanging on this angle with an op, and seeing nobody will fall off and decide to change positions for a split second to help. And just in the meantime, they're going to help her get closer, help her teammate get closer. I think that's Lax. Yeah, indeed. We'll just try to be a little bit sneaky. They're right on top of each other and they don't notice.
They're right on top of each other, but they don't notice. And it looks like everyone from the side of Impaler, they feel like they can go to B right now. They're moving over to B. They
Look
don't know
right.
the Lex is right up here. They
Look.
don't know.
Oh no. Oh, this could be
Oh,
awkward. I
Muffin.
wonder who's gonna get the kill here because neither
Imagine
of
if
them have.
everyone just slips past Lex and gets into side. Oh no! Oh, Mochi
No.
wins that one out actually.
There
All
should
right.
be no way Mochi wins this. Baby TZ getting close. Nice headshot onto Envious right there. Now has to fall back. Bought enough time with the wall here, but can they keep the pressure onto the A side, the B side rather? No, it looks like they're gonna go for maybe a rotation here. And this is definitely going to be a difficult situation for the Impaler. They're 2 players down. One is actually already on
30
the
seconds
red,
left.
and they have no map control.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? They have no map control to take over, which is so hard to play with. No health as well. They're basically in a 2 versus 4. The Impaler, they're gonna go try to swing back against A, but it looks like a Hail Mary more than anything, and I really doubt they can pull something out of the hat here because the Killjoy is still on
10
site,
seconds
waiting for you
left.
to come in. 10 seconds to plant.
5 seconds left, 6 seconds left rather.
Oh,
It's
she's gonna get caught
getting
though.
close.
No!
The double peek. That's enough to win them the round. No time.
Yeah, 2 of them swing around the corner, and it's looking so rough for Impaler. The attacking side for Impaler has just been really rough to watch, honestly.
I can't blame them, honestly. It's not that they look flat on the Impaler's attack. It's just that Oasis Gaming Aqua, they're reading the offense so well, whether it's putting the op onto the right side, whether it's getting aggressive towards mid. Oasis Gaming are controlling the map on their defensive side, and the Impaler, they just don't know how to handle it. And every solution that they can come up with is getting red and getting smothered.
Here.
And you know, I think it's because they're just making the right calls, man. They push towards A, bam, it's like 2 players on B with Muffin on the op. Everything that they do is red.
It seems like there's nowhere on the map that they can go, which is just so hard to deal with. I don't want to be a broken record, but I feel like this comes back once
What
again to the
shot.
problem of that shot. Another shot from Lex. Everyone is waking up, Tree!
Wow, Lax, just perfect headshot accuracy on those 3 kills right
Yeah,
now.
they're feeling themselves.
Definitely. You can't really stop this train as Lax lands the 4th. It is an eco kill. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, but still, very nice shots in the end. Pixel perfect accuracy from Lax here. And just like in the previous game, she's turning it up, man.
Definitely turning it up. And I want to use this time to talk a little bit about the Impaler, and maybe that's some of what the issues that we seem to see on the attacker side stem from. So basically what's happening with the Impaler is they swapped their IGL rather recently because their old IGL actually had to go overseas for studies. So it seems like this might explain some of why Impaler looks so good on a defender side, why they look so good when they're playing with pistols, playing freely, but because they're just strong players as individuals, right? But when it comes to playing as a team, when it comes to these executes, it seems like something's just missing. And Chloe,
down
unfortunately,
A.
gonna walk into the up right there. And it seems like this team, this roster, just needs a bit more time. But definitely getting hurt at a FSL Open with Alter Ego Celeste and Oasis Gaming, it's no slouch.
Look at how confident they are taking aggressive peaks like this.
Yeah.
They get caught off a little bit aggressive, and what do? They get even more aggressive, more aggression here. Just throw it
Look,
out
the
there.
answer is just be more aggressive than your opponents. And there we go, Envious gets the headshot.
Might fight them in the back a little bit, but we'll see if they're able to turn things around. That's the Hunter's
Oh,
Fury
no.
being deployed. And
Is it through the floor again?
Yeah.
It kinda
well,
is, huh?
I'm gonna defend Kohaibi on this one.
Okay.
She just switched.
That's
to...
true, that's
oh!
Oh,
Baby,
that's poor timing.
Oh, the timing is awful!
That's so unfortunate.
No! That's
Player
heartbreaking!
standing.
Oh no, she couldn't even get the Viper's pit out because Lex comes from behind, and Lex is starting to wake up as well. We talked about how the Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen of Baby TZ and Muffin are really taking over the game.
Lux is
But
Dennis
then-
Rodman.
yeah, Lux is dead as well, and it gives space to the rest
Look
of
at
them
this,
to
look at
really come in as well.
Oh,
Oh, this
you
is so
don't-
sad. And she just reviewed her location as well.
Oh man, timing could not have been worse.
It's really sad.
Yeah, heartbreaking.
Look, Impaler, maybe they can pull this around on the defensive side, because this is their map pick, but they really need to start stealing some rounds away. At least make it a 3-round, 4-round start for them on defense. Give yourself something to play with, and I feel confident that they'll at least try to
Ow.
bring it overtime.
One. Fortunately, there's a Sage.
Yep,
But
fortunately there is a
one
Sage.
H. And she does it again. Mochi X is brought to the no more
Ah.
heals. I'm done. I'm done healing you guys.
Well, you just gotta
Stop
wait. Now
walking
you gotta
into that
wait.
smoke.
Now you gotta wait for the Sage heals to come back up. Hey, if you had a Sky, there would be
Yeah,
another heal
yeah,
for you, right?
maybe.
So we keep talking about the Sky, but the teams haven't felt confident to pull it out yet, and I just can't wait for the Sky to be shown. Maybe at Elite, alongside
Maybe.
KO, which I'm also excited for.
That I really think Impalers is just getting very lucky, honestly. There's
Yep.
a lot of bad luck going to their side right. They're making good reads on the offense and they're doing the right thing offensively, but they're just getting mistimed.
Yep.
I don't know. It's heartbreaking. Now they're on Eco. They're trying A again. What can they do? Viper's pit deployed, and they're melting away in the utility of the Killjoy. The Nano
30
Swarm's enough to
seconds
do damage onto one. Stan sees one, is able to get one before she's finally traded out, but Chloe's big enough to get two
Oh,
down.
boy,
Bring
that's
us
nice
to
frag.
2v1. Muffin with the operator does get Aphrodite, and it's Chloe. Has to come up huge here. Has a Vandal in her hands, has a res actually. But only 13 seconds left to go. So the timing on this has to be
time.
absolutely perfect. Looking for one. Not gonna happen. Muffin closes out the round, and Oasis 8-2.
Oh, I feel heartbroken for Impaler right now. This looks so hard to come back from. Even if you play a perfect defender side, there's just so little rounds to play with. And if you drop the pistol, that's basically game already.
Yeah. And 9-3 is hard enough. Even if they do get 9-3, that's brutal. But this is the kind of map that this can happen on. So if you're a fan of the Impaler, I wouldn't be that worried, because on Icebox, man, this is the kind of map when things happen. Like anything could happen, honestly.
I want to believe that because I'm cheering for Impaler. But realistically speaking, I feel like this one is kind of just Oasis Gaming, crossing out the T's, dotting the I's. This seems like they've done enough to put this heavily in their favor.
Yeah. This is a tough match to come back from. And they get shredded by the combo, the utility, the Nano Swarm, and the Slow Orb. Just decimate them, and the timing couldn't be more perfect. One by one, Oasis Gaming, they're just winning the duels at this point. Every single one, not dropping a single loss right there, only losing one rather. And they come out of this 9-2, and they force the economy of Impaler in the gutter.
Look, we have to talk about momentum. We have to talk about mental headspace when you come to these games. When you start getting demolished like this, when you start feeling like no matter which side I go to, I'm gonna get shredded, it just becomes so hard to play games like Valorant, because you really need to have the momentum, you need to have the tempo, you need to have the belief that you can hit the shots. And it seems like Impaler, honestly, Oasis Gaming is doing a number on them.
Get out of my way.
100% agree with you. Impaler, they're just showing how good, well, sorry, Oasis, how good they are. Oh my god, beautiful shot. That's very, very nice. And look at this clever little setup. They're putting two members here, swapping out to the Vandal here just to get a little bit closer, because Muffin knows her position is compromised.
Wait, coming around the back though, Muffin, unsuspecting right now. Oh, but Chloe TTW runs right
No
into
way!
Hey,
How did
just
she
like
get
that.
3? How did she get 4? Muffin, what on earth have you just done?
Switching sides.
That was my mistake. I blinked, and then everyone died.
Muffin just played them like a
Amazing stuff.
fiddle.
Oh, amazing stuff, really. And then timeout. Okay, what do you think they're saying in this timeout? They're probably saying like, okay, guys, defend the side, winnable, right?
Yeah.
But realistically speaking,
I don't know. For timeouts like these, man, sometimes
oh
all
my
you got is,
goodness,
oh my god.
Muffin, look at the headshots. Oh my goodness, that's ridiculous.
Oh, so pretty to watch. Just
Yeah,
a fantastic.
right on the head.
Wow, the aim on these women, amazing.
Yeah.
And, you going back to what you said on timeouts like this, the best thing you can hope for, the best thing you can do as Impaler is just to breathe, calm down, because you got another half coming your way. Sure, you don't really have that many rounds to make a mistake in, but neither did they. Neither did their squad. Excuse me. Words are hard, but you gotta just take that breath, win it round by round, and try to get back in it mentally speaking.
You need to start from scratch. That's the main thing right here. Just treat it as if you're coming into this one fresh. It's 0-0, and you want a certain order. That's basically the mindset that you have to
Yeah.
take right now. You can't think of, okay, all the times we try to push into the side, we get destroyed, everything like that. It's all out of your mind, and you just have to do what you can.
I agree. You couldn't have said it any better, man. It just needs to be round by round. So let's see if they can actually do it here. This pistol is crucial. Impaler, I cannot stress this anymore. This is the round they need to win. They literally need this round, otherwise it's pretty much game over here. Fortunately for them, Oasis Gaming, well, their pistols haven't been that great either. So we'll see how this plays out.
Yeah, I want to point out Kifudide not having the best game herself. You can't help but feel like this might be part of, like you lose a couple of these duels, your mentality gets hit really hard. She only has one frag, and we saw how well she performed in the last map. We saw how well she performed in some of these other maps across the event. Okay, this is a good start. Step by step, you start to build the pieces up. The first frag is the first piece of the puzzle.
And
then
that
you
was the
build
person
from
who
there.
needed to bring the spike to B, actually. So
Yes,
this really
true.
puts a wrench in the plans of Oasis. Now they're winning all the duels here, and Stan finally manages to bring it back, but it's still a 4v2. This is very much the Impaler's round to lose here.
Alright, so let's see what they can do right now. Oasis Gaming Aqua, they do have the spike at the very least, but Stan is so low on HP. They're gonna try to go towards A. Impaler though. They have the numbers. They have the health. And the journey of 1,000 miles, the journey of 11 rounds for them starts right now.
Thank you for that motivational speech right there. But oh, wow, could not have lined
There
it
we
up any better. That was a great set of shots. 3 kills for Kefirati. This might be what she needs to get back into it, man.
Yeah. Mentality, tempo is so important in Valorant. I can't emphasize that enough. When you start getting the shots, when you start feeling yourself, that's when you really go crazy.
I agree. She needs to get back into it. And rounds like that, that's what you need. Just build that confidence. Just get back in it mentally. And that helps you so much to be able to get back into the game, hoping that you can find more rounds like this.
Yeah, and Envious as well has been doing pretty well. She's been getting some frags here and there. We are gonna need everyone on the side of Oasis Gaming to step. On the side of Impaler to step up. Like we're focusing a lot on them because that's where the storyline kind of is right now. Oasis Gaming has been dumpstering them, to put it perfectly honestly. This is the map choice of Impaler, and this was even more brutal than Haven was.
Yeah, definitely. I thought we would be seeing this is Impaler's map choice, and they are struggling. I do have to say, I think a lot of it has to do with Muffin being an absolutely crazy person.
Well, that's true. Muffin and Baby TZ.
And Baby TZ. Yeah,
Yeah.
both of them have just been unstoppable here. This is the eco round. This is the round they need to win. So they need to keep this round
Alright.
perfect. They're not out of the water. What?
Yeah, you need to not drop these guns. Like you, okay, it's a small thing. Still 4-2. It's still very winnable for Impaler, but you want to try to keep as many of these guns as you can. There we go, nice shot on hit. We also really need Ivy to wake up. That's another one of
there
the
you go.
players, right? And yeah, we need to see them start getting these frags together, start piecing these rounds together. And I want to touch really quickly on Oasis Gaming because we keep talking about Impaler, but Oasis Gaming, I want to remind you guys that they actually got knocked down to the lower bracket by
Really?
the Impaler. Yeah, by the Impaler at that. So 2-1. And then this time around, they come back, and it's looking like they have a very good chance to 2-0 the Impaler. You can't help but feel like this adjustment of form is just amazing to watch.
I honestly think it's a little bit more to do with the form of Impaler being
Okay,
a little bit
that's fair.
off.
That's fair
Because
too.
they were so good in game number 1.
Yeah.
But now it's like they're not hitting their shots. The communication is a little bit off. And I don't know. It looks like they're a little bit tilted. Reed, this is a great play to start off the round, though. That bait and switch towards mid. Chef's kiss on that one. Let's see if they can keep it up. It's still a 4v5 on their bonus, though.
Yeah, it's still a 4v5, and they still have good position on the side. They're trying to spray into the smoke. The whole side has just been covered up. But the key thing right now is they just need to be very careful. You can't afford to make mistakes. You can't afford to throw away rounds like this. And Envious getting taken down, that's a little bit scary to look at.
Yeah, 40 HP left on her, and they're gonna heal her up to full HP. Question is, though, Spike, they need to be a little bit decisive here. They are stalled out in the middle of a freeway. They need to be able to get a little bit more position and some kills. But on the other side, Impaler, they have laid the trap, and everybody is just waiting for the opportunity to get that kill. Anko, looking the wrong way, Mochi X. The timing just didn't go in her favor.
Okay, Envious.
Envious gets a trade right now, 20 HP.
Reload,
Below
reload.
the worst time, but the teammate right there to bail her out. Fortunately, she'll be saying thank you to her teammate after that one.
Yep. 20 seconds left on the clock. OAS now are starting to run out the timer. 2-on-4. Can they really get into this fight right now? That's the question. 14 seconds to go. They're trying to sprint it elsewhere, I think, but
No,
you
they
don't
gotta
really
just
have to
go.
go. Hey, yeah, you have to get something here.
Or save, actually. That's not too bad an idea.
True. It is a very possible save round, but honestly, if I'm the Impaler, I'll push you. Like, you don't want to let them keep these guns. Alright, they're just gonna play it safe. Can't fault them as well. Given the state of the game, 10-5. They
Yeah, and
want
they
to
have so many rounds.
Yeah, they have so many rounds, so you don't want to take these risks. You don't want to throw away the game. Let's take a quick look at the economy right now. Impaler are sitting happy. They have the gold they need. They have the credits to buy up for at least one more round. So they can afford to drop one in terms of economy, but they can't afford to drop one in terms of just round score.
Yeah. Just that save, that was okay. I mean, Oasis Gaming Aqua, they need to just calm down and make sure that they don't get ahead of themselves, because if they start getting they feel themselves a little bit too much, this could start the snowball at Impaler's way. Because I swear, once Kohibi wakes up, really, I mean, and Keferdite is going to be so difficult to deal with. They haven't been able to address this mid play from Impaler in like 3 rounds. Impaler have been doing this exact same mid push for like 2 or 3 rounds in a row, and they still win those duels.
And honestly, mid control
Again.
is just so important.
Oh,
There
no
we go.
way!
Marshall headshot to bring it all back.
Disgusting headshot,
Yep.
right? No way she should have won that
Stan with
duel.
some very nice frags as well. We haven't really talked about it, but Stan has been doing consistently well for Oasis Gaming, not just today, but in general. She's also been pretty clutch. So coming in with the Marshall frag when her team needs her to step up. And I feel like that's such a good storyline for this game. Oasis Gaming, they have the star players and they have the pieces around the star players consistently fragging as well. Whereas on the side of Impaler, they need to do better as a team, as well as they need who is probably their star Kohibi to wake up.
That's a big whiff from Mochi X right there. That should have been her kill any day of the week here. And Lax will miss that opportunity as well. Very, very risky round. Both of these teams, they're in a very big predicament. Could go either way. Timing, Envious prevails on this one. Baby TZ is going down without a fight here. With just a pistol,
nice.
Stan goes down. Really
Alright.
good round for Impaler. This will help build that momentum, build that confidence that you were talking about earlier, Omo.
Yeah, so let's talk, alright? It's 10-6. Do you feel like Oasis Gaming, maybe it's time for them to take a timeout, time to take a breather, reset? You have a buy round right now. Yeah, so
Yeah,
you
it's been
really
like
need
4
a win.
rounds that they lost.
Yeah, you
already.
need to start finding something if you want to close out the game as Oasis Gaming. You can't let Impaler run away with the momentum.
Agree. It just, at some point, you really need to start calling that timeout. You got to break that momentum, because if you look at the scoreline where we are right now, everybody's starting to contribute on the Impaler squad, and this is the Impaler that got all the way to the lower bracket final. This is the Impaler that we know and love. They're starting to play like the team that we wanted to see here, and 4 rounds away, it's starting to get worrisome for Oasis Gaming Aqua. This comeback could very well happen. I'm not writing off. Earlier,
Nailed them. Last player standing. One enemy remaining. Valiant effort. Clutch. This is what I trained for. Anyone need anything? Get out of my way! Lucky sight. You should run. Spike planted.
Your duty is not over.
Clean sight. One enemy remaining.
The hunt begins.
Spike down B. One enemy remaining.
We actually.
I think we might be. Now I think we're okay. Now we're back now.
All right, yeah. So 10-2, I believe, to start it out with. Now it's 10-9. Impaler just strung 7 rounds together, and this has been an insanely impressive performance for them. Looking across the board, like no one is really like popping off, getting 20, 30 kills, but the team as a whole, everyone is just getting the frags when they need to.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a pause here. Just seeing what's going on here. We're having, I think, technical difficulty in the background. So weird why you couldn't hear the both of us, but it happens. Now we're going back into the game.
Yeah, we're back into the game, and here we go, 10-9. Oasis Gaming, they took a second to breathe. Okay, I'm a little bit curious about the timing that they chose to take the tactical on, because this is still kind of a bit of a scuffed buy round for them. You might want to take a pause, take a breather before you get your full buys, before you get your rifles. That's probably the best time to do it, but if they get the eco win here, then that's going to be huge for them as well. Chloe once again down mid, getting control.
Yeah, well, it's now that mid play again that they have struggled to deal with, and the Viper Spit is committed towards B just to limit the options of where Oasis Gaming Aqua can actually go. They have so much map control. This come back! Oh no! The Viper Spit fades into the bullets of the opponent. That's just the worst thing that could happen. But it is what it is. Kohibi looking to get revenge here, looking for more. Can she do it? She came alive with an amazing 4K
Okay, and
earlier
just
on.
wanted A. It
Yeah,
looks like
that's
the
huge.
rotation actually gets caught out. She doesn't see that though. Ah,
I got
And that's the spike also.
that is
Spike.
spike. So they
Now
know it's A play.
exactly. And let's see what they can do with it here. The res now comes out, so this is still doable. The Hunter's Fury again is
Stops the
a
punt.
little bit off axis, but eventually they get there. Chloe, TTW is one of the only persons on the site, but they're getting flanked upon very, very quickly. The ultimate, the
30
teleport. Look at
seconds
this big brain player right now as they full rotate towards that B side.
spike planted.
Yeah, full rotate towards the B side. They do get the plant down in B. And now Impaler, they're feeling a little bit stuck, I think. There's so many angles for them to check. They just don't exactly know. They see lags. Muffin, though. Muffin gets one. Okay.
Oh.
We need nothing. Healing.
I think we're still muted. I'm not. Let me figure it out. We kind of are having a little technical difficulties. I think we're back now. Are we back now? Okay.
Alright,
oh,
awesome.
okay.
We are back in it, and Impaler, or rather Oasis Gaming are also back in it, getting the first round in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in 7. Since the half, they've lost 7 rounds in a row, and they finally managed to win 1 on a half by no less, so that's gonna help them so much. Oasis Gaming 11-9, they only need 2 rounds to secure the map, secure the series for themselves, and move up to the grand finals against Alter Ego Celeste. Impaler, they're trying to draw this one out, bring it to map 3, but Chloe trades 1 for 1.
And that's the good opening pick right there to find here. One of the best chances Oasis Gaming Aqua has had in quite a while. They've been struggling to find any kind of opening to get onto site, and they've really been, you know, hitting a brick wall on this defense of the Impaler. But yet again, Kphrodite is here to shut down that opportunity by Muffin. Can't she find any more? Doesn't look like it. Anko's going to be the one to slow down her pace now. It's still a 2v3, and the ultimate from Killjoy will buy them a little bit of time for that spike. So it's going to go down 100% here, but they still have to deal with the potential flank coming in from Omen.
Potential flank coming in from Omen, indeed, and the alarm bot does spot out Kohibi. They don't exactly know where the members of Oasis Gaming are. There's so many angles to check, and this is why the retake is so hard. 1 down, 2-on-2. She's gonna try to stick to defuse, I think, but they find Lex as well. 1-on-1. Kohibi, can you do this?
She's been deadly thus far, and she's deadly yet again. 3 kills in this round, and she's racking them up just to knock them all down. The Impaler have made the comeback. What we thought was nearly impossible. It was like 10-2 at some point, and they've inched it away. Like we said during that timeout, man, round by round, they just go at it, and somehow they managed to pull it back. Omo, this comeback, man, what are we seeing?
Honestly, I believe very strongly that games like Valorant are all about momentum, and that's exactly what we're seeing today. Kohibi's waking up, Chloe's waking up, Envious is getting the key frags where it matters, and of course Kphrodite and Mochi, they're no slouches either. They're finding some kills here and there, helping the team out in the supporting roles. And honestly, Oasis Gaming, they only need 2 rounds, but Impaler have clawed it back to 11-10. That is just so close, and it seems like maybe this map is just way too defender-sided.
In this map, it does look like it.
It's gonna be tied up.
It could very well be. It's a 3v5 here, and Chloe, man, she's got to get that kill. It's easy as day.
Man.
Yeah,
Chloe's just
no
popping off. I just want to remind everyone. Yeah, they are all popping off, but Chloe didn't play map 1. She set out map 1, and they had a race on Rue instead, who didn't do all too badly. But Chloe, now that is an impressive Sage performance from her. Oh, point blank! Oh no, baby TZ.
Kphrodite's able to get the last 2, and that's really a great showing. Tie. Suddenly we're tie, ladies and gents. Oasis Gaming Aqua, they've kind of dropped the ball here, I gotta say. Impaler,
that
man.
Was flawless as well. That was an Intel flawless round from the side of the Impaler.
Wow. I thought we were done at 10-2. But it's just so when you look at the scoreboard, Kohibi has just refused to go down, and so is Chloe. They're basically bringing their team back from the brink of defeat here.
On the other side as well, Muffin's still doing pretty hot, 26 kills, close to dropping a 30. But Baby TZ has been having a couple of quiet rounds. She hasn't been managing to find the frags, sitting on 20 for a while now. Envious finds Muffin, the operator, in mid, and Envious finds one more. Oh, I guess second down though.
Will it be the round One of these teams gets map point here. Oasis, can they finally break the deadlock?
Oh, no.
It's going to be Aphrodite in this corner. She has been forced in an awkward position. Can she get away? Waiting for the backup to come. There is still a res on Impaler squad. Can they actually get it? Yes, it looks like it's going to be the case here, as Chloe will be able to survive from this long.
She's
trying to tap away. Can't get the headshot. It's Stan who does. And finally they do land it. Chloe in a 1v2 here. The spike is in a little bit of a difficult position. There is a flank coming in, and it's going to be Oasis Gaming to get another kill here. 1v1 Stan. It's a battle of nerves, battle of wits, and it's Stan to land a headshot. Gonna get that body kill onto Aphrodite, and it's the round for Oasis Gaming Aqua. After what feels like an eternity, they finally win a round, and it's the round to bring them to match point.
Stan has the nerves of steel as well. We talked about how Stan has been consistently clutch for Oasis Gaming Aqua. And honestly, Stan has been doing very well for the team when the situation calls for it. She's quietly been fragging away. She's quietly been closing out rounds. 20 frags here. She doesn't have that many of the fancy clutches, but she's still quietly, consistently putting in work. And 20 frags, no joke at all for Stan. Definitely a huge win there. I feel like Impaler kind of dropped the ball there. Maybe needed one to cover the angle while the other one tried to stick deep. But at the end of the day, map point, series point for Oasis Gaming Aqua.
Yeah, but it's going to be a tough one. I could not tell you how this is going to go. Statistically speaking, Oasis Gaming have only really won a couple, but look at that shot right now. Envious gets one before she goes down real quick. They won't expect Mochi. She gets two, she gets three, almost the fourth right there, but still somehow Lax still alive here. Has the ultimate to go to A, but it's a desperate play. It's a Hail Mary attempt all the way towards A side.
I believe in this. I think it's very winnable. It's an empty site. She doesn't know that, but the spike is going down. They're coming in from all angles. She needs to find an opening. Oh, well then. A bit underwhelming. But there we go. That's gonna bring us to overtime.
Overtime. Here we go. Oh my god, this game is just insane. How have we gotten to this point from a 10-2 half?
Now, I know all about the Caster's Curse, and I don't want to say anything that's gonna bring that up.
But
I'm thinking if we go into map 3, and Impaler pull off this comeback, that's gotta weigh heavily on Oasis Gaming.
Yeah.
This is a huge round for Mochiax, just spraying them down, ducking around the yellow boxes very well as well. So brilliant round coming in from Impaler and Mochiax in particular. Fantastic stuff. I mean, everyone in this game has been playing very, very well. Even the bottom fraggers, I mean, you see Anko and Mochiax, Lag not doing too hot as well, Aphrodite. They've been putting in the kills when it matters, where it matters. And 12-12 right now. How do you think the overtime is gonna go? Who do you think is gonna take this one?
I think Anko needs her moment. She has been quiet. She did amazing on Haven, but now she's kind of stuttering here on Icebox. And Lax as well. It seems like whoever did well on game number 1 kind of having a little bit of a struggle here towards game number 2.
Right, so since Chloe didn't play map 1 at all, she's having an amazing map 2.
Exactly, but she's gonna be awful at number 2 if she does play.
All right, the map checks out. The map checks out. Yeah. I mean, honestly, that's kind of true though, because if you're fresh, if you're rested, coming to the map's way more ready to bomb and way more ready to flick heads.
This is why they pay us the big bucks to do this job. This top level
analysis. Yeah. It turns out that resting makes you more rested.
Who would have thought?
Wait, Muffin's position though, this is interesting.
They're going for an all-in hard retake onto B. They're gonna just let it happen if it comes. They're stacking and putting all their eggs towards A, and then hopefully they can just retake B. That's the name of the
Lex
game
is just backing off, just giving up the side, just trying to stall them with the smokes as much as she can, do some damage here and there. But it looks like the rotate is in already. It's gonna be a 5-on-5 here at B side.
That's a plan. Oh, they
Chloe can get plan. Oh, they broke the wall like instantly. They have the spike though. They're gonna fall out of sight.
This is tough.
So much spray.
They're just getting kills through the spray, and this is what's so dangerous about B side. You cannot really truly be safe here. Envious, they wise up to the flank though, so they know that there's somebody coming in from the back. That allows them an opportunity for a rotation, and in fact they are. They're booking it towards A side. Envious has the spike all alone. Will she be able to get the spike down? Because there's only 12 seconds left. She can't make a mistake here, and she can be denied.
She has to just plant. Kohaibi gets one, so it's gonna be a 3-on-3. TZ. She knows where she is. Oh, Envious didn't check the above.
Waiting for backup.
Side. They don't hear the defense yet. Oh, Belly Wisp. Baby TZ starting to wake up here in this overtime. 3 on nothing. And there we go. Muffin takes down the last kill, and that's gonna be the first round of overtime going to Oasis Gaming.
Yeah, one more round for Oasis Gaming Aqua to take their long delayed victory. If
Switching
they do
sides.
come out and take a
Match
victory
point.
here, but Impaler, man, they have made things spicy to say the least. I am just floored by just the resilience, just the tenacity of these girls here to be able to get this far and to go this far down and to make this comeback. Truly, truly amazing stuff.
Definitely, and you look across the board, so many. Everyone's just playing so well. Like all the frags are coming in from the players that matter, the players that are doing their jobs, and the supportive players as well, living up to the name, doing the supportive role, getting some frags here and there, helping out their team. Now, we need to see Impaler try to drive this one to double overtime. Maybe the game plan here is just make Oasis Gaming as tired as they can and then go into map 3. We don't really know, but this is going to be a very intense one for sure. Now, we do have OAS still defending.
Yeah.
Sorry, on attack rather, and let's see what they're gonna do because we have seen these teams, both of these teams, struggle on attack.
Yeah, and as you can see, both these teams are having a long, hard think about what they're gonna do right now. This is so tense. It's all on the line right now. 'Cause if Impaler loses this round, it's done. They have lost their chance to go to the grand final. But Oasis Gaming Aqua, they know they do not want to go to map number 3. They want to end it right here, right now, because after working so hard on this map only to lose it like this and go to a map number 3, that's so disheartening. That will break your spirit.
It's exhausting, honestly. And think about it this way as well. If we go to a map number 3, if we play out a double overtime, triple overtime here, you go to map number 3, and whoever wins it, you're gonna have to play a best of 5 against Alter Ego Celeste.
Yeah.
So that's not gonna be an easy call for any of these teams here.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough, definitely. But that's the advantage of staying in the upper bracket. You know, you
Sure.
have that
Yeah.
advantage, and you'll be a little bit more rested for the best of 5, and that's just how things go. So, the resilience really going to be tested by these teams here. We're just having a little bit of a pause just to figure out what's going on. Not entirely sure. I think it might be technical. And
Well, importantly, I see people in Twitch chat cheering for their favorite players. So guys, please do that. Send them your support, send them your love, send them your energy. Cheer for your favorite players. Who's gonna take this one? Who do you guys think is gonna do this? Is Impaler gonna bring us to double overtime, or is Oasis Gaming gonna close it out here and now?
yeah, it's gonna be a tough one to call. I don't know if chat might be able to give a little bit
Chat
of a
might have a better
analysis
idea.
thing.
Yeah.
We don't know why we're here at all, do we? I mean, clearly,
I mean,
all
we
of our
know that if
predictions-
you rest, you play better next game. So we found out something here.
we know one thing. We know one specific unnecessary thing, but it's
I
something.
think we've been doing very well and not cast the cursing in Impaler too. So
Hey, you know, we haven't cast our curse in it. We said the comeback might
Crazy,
happen, and it
yeah.
happened. All right, we're not cursed today. We're blessed.
Just today, just today.
Just today.
But we're trying to figure out what's going on with the teams right now. A little bit of time. But it looks like the round's gonna be starting, and I'm hyped for this one. Can Oasis Gaming close it out on attack, where all of these teams have been struggling?
Yeah, they've had most of their success on attacking side.
Yep.
So remember, this is where Oasis Gaming Aqua feels most comfortable. This could really, truly be the round that they need to solidify, because that big win on that previous overtime, man, that could have not gone any better for them. Good paranoia, but will they make use of it? It looks like an A hit's coming. There's a tiny gap in that smoke. Kohaibi might be able to make use of it.
They're not committing though. They threw out the util, but they didn't commit to any of the pushes. They still have the option of falling out if they get info, but Stan gets dropped at mid, so that's gonna be a nice big frag. They know it's gonna be an A play because Envious sees all the way down mid.
They are still leaving the Viper
For
towards
one.
B though, but quick
For
set
one.
of kills here. Lax and Baby TZ chiming in. Keferdite still holding onto the site. They haven't disposed of her just yet. Now it's going to be Lax to chime in yet again, coming up huge just when they need. And now the two bottom fraggers here for Oasis Gaming Aqua are the ones left standing. Will it be their moment to take on and to make up for all the rest of this game? Can they take it home for their team? That's a big ultimate right there. Just to get some information, they spot out Mochi X in this 2v2.
They have to go for the defuse, so that's definitely in the favor of Oasis Gaming right now. They have the plot, they have the post plants, smoke coming up from Mochi X, trying to maybe get some bait out of spray maybe. Tries to stake it though, but Ankle pushed into the smoke. You said Ankle needed to make something happen, and it looks like she's doing that here, 1-on-1. Where is Lex?
Time.
Does she know? Oh man, she doesn't know. Lex is teleporting around. She heals it though. Oh, she has to stake it. There's no time.
Oh man, what a Oh, Envious there lands a great shot, but can't find the second one. Lux coming up huge with a big brain place, and Oasis Gaming take us 2-0. A brilliant comeback by the Impaler, but unfortunately just losing it in overtime. What a heartbreaking defeat, and we're going to go 2-0. Definitely a sigh of relief on the Oasis Gaming squad.
Yeah, a huge sigh of relief. Imagine if you had to go to map 3. Imagine if you then had to take a short break and then play Alter Ego Celeste in a best of 5. That is gonna take a huge toll on your energy levels. And congrats to Oasis Gaming. They are going to move on to the grand finals to face off against Alter Ego Celeste, your reigning champions of the VCT Game Changers FSL Open. We take a quick look at the players right now. It was ultimately a 14-12 Muffin against Envious. Both of these Jets definitely doing a lot of work here.
Yeah, just one short of that 30 bomb for Muffin, and I gotta say, what a performance she put on there. Amazing stuff here. Unfortunately, for the Impaler, took a little bit too long for the rest of their squad to truly warm up. It could have been a much different game had Kefrodite come in earlier. Kohaibi had a lot of great rounds as well. We got to point out, but let's not diminish the fact that Lax and Anko, they came in at that last round and they played that to perfection. Baby TZ as well, so many great rounds from her. And overall, everyone really on the Oasis Gaming side making that concerted effort, making a really, really good attempt here in this last match of the day. I mean, of the round of the series.
19.8 to 19.9 headshot percentage. Both of these teams just clicking heads out there. Honestly, such a close series. It started out 10-2 for Oasis. They nearly managed to pull the comeback off for Impaler, but ultimately Oasis do just close that one off. They have the mental fortitude to find the rounds where they needed to. And yeah, like you said, it's a bit of a heartbreaker for Impaler, honestly. If they found a couple more rounds in the attacking side here or there, they could have maybe just ended it in regulation before going to overtime. And with that said, though, this is going to be, once again, Oasis Gaming moving on to the grand finals, taking down Impaler, who knocked them to the lower bracket earlier on in this tournament as well. Don't forget that. So definitely a very important win for the members of Oasis Gaming. They're going to get a bigger chunk of the prize pool. They're going to get a bigger chunk of points for FSL Elite. And most importantly, I think it's a huge morale boost to tour a team which knocked you down to the lower bracket as well.
Exactly. It's going to feel like poetic justice for them just to be able to get that revenge in the very end. But unfortunately, we do have to take a short break because we are going to get ready for that grand final. So make sure you're here for that. We'll take a break because I'm absolutely excited. Celeste going head-to-head with none other than Oasis Gaming Aqua. I'm so stoked for it. So I'm going to take a short break. I'm going to leave you in the capable hands of my two co-casters here. So when we come back, it's going to be the best of 5 grand final here in the FSL Open number 4. I'm Illustrado. This is Omo. We'll take a quick one. And when we return, the grand finals will be starting.